Coach, it's just now 7:30. What are you talking about? I had a problem today. I knew it'd be 7:30. Okay. Anyway, fam, you heard the news, right? So the Niners, the NFL says open up next week, get your facilities all washed down and prepared, safe for players to be coming in, and of course the NFL. But California didn't say anything about any large congregations, so it's got to be interesting to see. Are the 49ers going to play outside of town or outside of Santa Clara? Because here's the funny thing about the 49ers, though. Not funny, but the real thing about the 49ers is no matter where they play, the 49ers can go all the way to New York City and they'd have a huge congregation there to make them feel comfortable. So no problem about the 49ers' ability to travel. So, yeah. But I really wish they could, I don't know what they're going to do in Santa Clara. I don't know that there's any special license you can get right now because California's very serious about this COVID-19. Anyway, hey. Let's get right on into it because we are late. How 49ers can pick up leadership slack following trio veteran departures. During the 2019 season, the 49ers had some of the most colorful team leaders in the NFL. No doubt about it, no question about it. They were the best. They were led by 13-year veteran Joe, Mr. San Francisco Staley, Richard, I'm here, let's do this, Sherman, and Emmanuel Sanders, who even though his time was short with the 49ers, that dude had a dramatic impact on the wide receiver room. We had a bunch of young wide receivers, and he was like a shot in the arm of the best, most potent steroids you could get. I'm just putting it truthfully. The dude pumped up that wide receiver room, except with the exception of a couple of people, top three. But you look what he did to Debo. That was the most dramatic thing because Kendrick Bourne, who stepped up his game, but Kendrick was already probably on his way to wherever he was going. But Debo was fledgling. He was struggling. He was looking good one minute. There was inconsistencies. All of a sudden, Debo became man. Was that because of Emmanuel Sanders? Anyway, also, Deforest Buckner was said to be handling the defensive line role more than people outside the locker room were even aware of. Deforest Buckner was calling and setting up plays at the defensive line. They never made a big deal about that because we gave Quan Alexander all the glory, right, during that time. So I had no idea. I thought it was Quan and Fred. That was a really interesting thing to hear about. But with the departure of those high-profile stars, the 49ers are going to be looking to fill those voids, and who will that be is a question. Because we're talking about the three most notable players to lead the 49ers this offseason. And they combined for 388 games, which amounts to over 24 seasons in NFL experience. That's a lot of I've seen everything and done it more than 50 times, It's something to be concerned about for a team with Super Bowl aspirations in 2020. And you wonder if it's going to have any kind of residual effect. You see those guys leave, and you just think, well, okay, next man up. Next man up mentality applies, I guess, in everything in football, though. Replacing the leadership and experience voids left by Staley, 181 games, Sanders, 144 games, and Defoe, 63 games, but they were pretty much, he didn't miss but one of those games that the whole time he was here. If we miss anything, it will be the durability and Deforest Buckner is an iron man. This dude is a rock. He never got hurt. He never limped. He had one day when he remember the ankle injury in his rookie year. After that, Buckner was like the one. Wow, man! I just hope we got something in Kinlaw similar. So anyway. This will require the players to pick up the slack, though. Richard Sherman joined KBR last week. He was quoted saying, it just leaves room for the next man up mentality in terms of leadership. You don't replace guys like that individually. They're such huge figures that you do it by committee. And I think we have strong enough locker room and even more of a veteran group now to be able to withstand a big change like that, unquote. Sherman's now the most experienced player in the roster now. The Staley's retired, so he's going to really warrant that that title. The wide receiver kids and secondary kids, well, the secondary kids like to call him Uncle Sherm. He went on to name a group of key players on defense that will be required to provide stability in times of adversity, as Staley and Buckner have done in recent season. As a Sanders, as I mentioned, that short-term mentor for the wide receivers after being acquired in trade from the Broncos last October. And think about that for a minute. He came in October, November, December. He just changed things as far as receivers that Kyle Shanahan started trusting. And he went on to say, quote, guys like Fred Warner, now that would have been the first guy off my list as well. Eric Armstead will have bigger roles in leadership. Obviously, Quan Alexander, who we've seen already came in and took a role whether he was asked to or not, have huge impacts, but he'll have an even bigger platform now. Kowalski T and Jimmy Ward, unquote. Especially Jimmy Ward. Kowalski seems like a quiet. Kowalski's like he's like that killer snake in the that's lying around, ready to strike and do damage, but he's not necessarily going to go out there and really fire people up. Jimmy Ward, I think he's an in-betweener. He's the guy that could be vocal, I imagine, but he's another guy that kind of runs silent, runs deep, you know? So we'll see what he does. Unquote, on offense, enter George Kittle. Man, I tell you what, I want to see him take this part because I know if there's a guy on the team that can take that role, it's George. Our lone first-team All-Pro last season says he'll take lessons he learned from Staley to help prop up his teammates. His line is trying to do what's been historically difficult, win a Super Bowl the season after losing it. Only 8 teams have gotten back to the game following a loss, and only 3 have won it. So I'm tired of hearing about that, man. God, I'm tired of hearing that. The good news is the Patriots did it as recently as 2018, so take that. Okay, it is not an insurmountable thing to overcome. I mean, the 49ers are a different team. They're a young team. They're not a bunch of old veterans that struggled to get to that Super Bowl and were on the last legs and lost. It ain't nothing like that. You know, and Killer's quote is saying, I think what Joe did was he did still instill a lot of great values and virtues into most of the team and all the guys they got to communicate with. So I think what the great thing is, we're going to have the guys, and we're all going to have an opportunity to step up and fill the shoes that Joe left behind. And I don't think there's any one person that can do it, but I think we have a great group of guys that can come together to fill that role. And I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm really looking forward to see who steps up. 49ers did well to replace Staley, unquote. 49ers did really well to replace Staley with another talented left tackle in Trent Williams. That is the most luckiest thing I think I've ever seen in my life. Joe Staley steps out of the picture, and you bring in almost an equal force, if not equal. We're going to see what he looks like on the field. But Trent Williams is, if you're going to go back and get somebody to replace Joe Staley, that's the guy. And not miss a beat. Williams, who played 121 games and made 7 consecutive Pro Bowls from 2012 to 2018, speaks volumes for his prowess as a football player. We can safely assume as soon as he gets to know everybody, he'll make Joe proud as far as both playing solid football and helping to facilitate the absence of one of San Francisco's all-time favorite child, Joe Staley. It's the players replacing Buckner and Sanders who will be making their NFL debuts whenever the season begins amid this accursed pandemic. First-round draft picks Javon Kinlaw and Brandon Ayuk will have to navigate rookie seasons without traditional off-season programs, and that in itself is disturbing, let alone ask them to do anything more than just come in and learn to be a 49er. So I don't expect too much from him as far as his leadership goes. Club facilities have been closed since March, and it's unclear when. Well, it's not unclear anymore. We already know next week that teams will be allowed to open up their facilities. For now, they're limited to video calls and virtual meetings with coaches, or has been the case. Given their lack of experience, it's honestly difficult to say the 49ers are better than last season. when they last suited up in February, unless other young players make up the difference by developing quickly. The 2019 draft class. I'll never forget them. I know you won't either, right? These guys came through big time this last year. When you look at, and this is a Super Bowl run, too, they were part of that. It's not like it was just a regular season thing where you pick up a couple of rookies in the draft and they come in and they're really doing a good job and you start talking about the future with them. No. I'm talking Debo and Nick came in, Greenlaw. All of them came in and said, we here to work, Jack. We may be young, but look out, Jack. We got thunder. And they did. 2019 Rookie of the Year, Nick Bosa. He sounds ready to take on some lead responsibilities. As he is quoted saying, for guys like me and Debo, Samuel, and Dre, rookies that played a lot, I think it's time for us. We're not just deer in the headlights anymore. We know the routine. We know how an NFL season works. And now we can really just take the next step and work on honing our games and really studying our opponents now that we have played them once, unquote. Boy, if Debo, Nick, and Dre, and I know Russell Wilson's had about enough for Dre Greenlaw, boy, you ain't seen nothing yet. Them rookies go tear it up next year. Hey, maybe rookies we got now maybe tearing it up this year. This is going to be fun stuff. But, fam, are the 49ers still in good hands leadership-wise is the question tonight. Are the alpha dogs remaining on this team got what it takes to keep this team afloat? Speaking of, you know what? One of the reasons why, and just to jump off just a second, one of the reasons why I want to see Dante Pettis, and I already know he's going to make the team. We may as well. I just don't see him getting cut. No matter how bad he plays, Kyle's going to trust him. He's going to think he's got too much to just throw in the garbage, especially if we can't get a trade for him. But I want to see Dante one time. And Jimmy G is out of the pocket. He's moving to his right. He's directing. He's scanning. He launches the. Jimmy Garoppolo throws a seed to Dante Pettis. It's a touchdown, Pettis! And I just want that moment just so I can do it. Bow wow, yow, yippee yo, yippee yay. Bow wow, yippee yo, yippee yay. Boom, boom. Bow wow, yippee yo. Next year, Dante Pettis, as soon as he gets started, his new name is going to be Bow Wow. Lil Bow Wow. Tony! It's a birthday, of course. He said, hey, it's my birthday today, May 15th, baby. Can I get a happy B-Day shout out? Thanks, brother. Tony, boom. Happy. Oh, happy Niners birthday. About to start the season open facilities next week. Happy Niners birthday, Tony! I need some moisture. I didn't get my drink here. Happy Niners! Birthday, Tony. I can't believe you guys asked me to do that. That's the worst song in the world right there. Well, that voice is terrible. Oh, hey, Renzo. What's up, fam? Hey, thanks for the B-Day shout-out last show. Hey, Renzo, man, anytime. I can't wait till your next birthday, bro. And Coach Sewell says Buckner was a stud. He will be missed, but his numbers can be replaced for sure. We got the tools on board. And I really I don't want to think that because I feel guilty saying things like that. It's blasphemous. I feel like we should have more respect for Buckner. But this is not about that. This is what we got, right? So it's okay to say good things about Greenlaw. I think he's going to be an animal. Eloy Rodriguez! Thanks, fam. He says we have a great defense, great offense. But what if Garoppolo goes down again? And you know what? People really need to get that out of their mind. What you saw last year was not... What you saw, remember what you saw in 2017, Eloy? Remember that. Remember what Garoppolo looked like? Before he had to learn the offense, before he hurt his knee. Just to comfort you, remember that. This guy can play. Ain't no doubt about it. But the circumstances have to be right. He needs it. First of all, he's getting off the knee. He needs to know the offense. He needed a full year to learn. For all intents and purposes, people need to understand he was nothing but a glorified rookie last year. That's all Garoppolo was. But he had such poise about him when he was on it. Now imagine, with that kind of that mentality, don't worry about Jimmy Garoppolo. That's the least of your concerns, right? He says, Will Mullins, oh, God, no. Will Mullins be good enough to step up? Who is a better quarterback? Your thoughts? Without question, I like Mullins. I really do. I think he's solid, and I'm glad he's behind Jimmy. But make no mistake, he is no Jimmy Garoppolo. That is my feeling on that. Coach Silva goes, Staley is replaced. I think maybe improved if Williams stays healthy. I know, see, this is another thing I'm afraid to say. Williams is a bad man. I did finally watch some tape of him, like, extensively. Oh, he is real. But Joe is still, I don't put him second to anybody. I'll put Williams up there with him. How about that? Mr. Block Guy 22, I'll put it like this. The young talent learned a lot last year. That Super Bowl loss, if anything, taught my dudes very well. We go in to get back. It's all about executing, and Kyle's coaching straight up. Absolutely. Absolutely. And also, regarding that, you also realize not only did these guys learn, the wide receivers, they learned. Debo learned. Trent Taylor, actually, one of the reasons why Taylor and Garoppolo got along so well is because Taylor did such a great job in his first year. Now you figure, if you put Taylor back in the mix, Garoppolo again has his man at arms in Taylor. Now Debo knows what he's doing. Kendrick came on. It's not, people focus too much on Jimmy and not enough on the whole program, the whole group of guys. It's not just one guy when you're talking an offense. Oh, hey, let me go get that phone and say the on.
Ronbo, what's going on, brother?
I'm hitting notes tonight, you know what I'm saying? Should have got me started singing to start the program. D!
I know, man. We gonna get you a record, man. Get you a record deal.
I want to do a concert first. Hey, D, man, we got some leaders on this team. We just need to bring them out and bring that personality and get that drive, make them feel responsible. Sherman pointed out the obvious guys. Are there any guys that may be overlooked or possibly you got in mind that would make great leaders?
Not necessarily. The obvious guys are the ones that I believe that will take the reins. I believe that Debo will become the leader of the receiving room. You know, Uncle Sherman's the leader of that DB room. Eric most likely will. Eric, and I think you'll probably, maybe even Javon. I don't know, because
already?
You got to remember.
You feeling that? Is Javon can he come in and step right into Buck's shoes? Yeah, I mean, everything, because, you know.
If he's a vocal person, when you have leaders are okay to speak. Eric's a gentle giant. Like, dude is like the nicest guy ever. When you hear him speak, he speaks so softly, and then you see him get on the field and just wreak havoc. So you're like, wait, what? How did this? What? Okay, never mind. I thought he was really nice.
You didn't see that, right? Personality. The dude's an animal, like Kloski.
He's an animal. But I think Eric would wind up taking over for the D line. You know that Fred's going to be, the vocal voice, and he gives some of that. Quan Moore to me is a hype man. Quan's that dude. He's that
Hot boys.
He's that friend that you have that every time you about to do something, he's there to back you up. He's there to hype you. He's that dude that you about to go do something. It's back in the day, man, and somebody disrespected you, and you got to go ahead. You got to handle your business. Quan is right there. Hey, look, man, I've seen this dude before. This is what you do. Then as soon as you get there, man, you about to knock him out. He's ready. He's ready. He's got that hype mentality.
True.
And then, but when it comes to that receiver room, like I even seen how they posted a video with KB and him talking about his workouts and everything. And I tweeted at him and I said, hey, man, you need to go get your boy Dante, man, and share some of your work ethics with him, because he's been doing that out there, man.
D, you think Dante's going to – I wonder – I saw Dante snap at Kittle on social media one time. You think he might be the kind of a guy that's so standoffish, keeps himself so isolated that he can't hear his other teammates?
You said he snapped at Kinlaw?
No, at Kittle.
Oh,
George said,
at Georgia?
this is early last year. I couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah.
I read it, and I read between the lines immediately. George said something that I'm not sure what the meaning. There was something else that probably involved for Kittle to say. Dante gave him some kind of snapback answer. I said, Dante's not playing. That pissed him off. I got to go find that tweet.
Period, point blank. At the end of the day, if you're not ready to go on to the field and fight and show that you want it and show that you give, I mean, even Jerick McKinnon has shown that he is working out when everybody knows he's been injured for the past 2 years and he's not been able to produce. You have he just doesn't have the drive. He doesn't have the will. And I'm not going to say it's unfortunate. It's pathetic. It's
second-round pick.
It really is pathetic. I'm not going to give you unfortunate. Unfortunate would be Jerick McKinnon's situation because he's been injured. Yeah, pathetic is Dante's situation because he does not want it. You don't sit on the sidelines laughing and giggling, trying to get in on all the handshakes and running around and just being cool with sitting on the sideline. Nobody wants to do that. Akello sure as hell wasn't happy sitting on the sideline. When they pulled him, what did he do? Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and get on special teams. He need his rest. He need his rest so he can get those reps out there. Akello was like, I ain't finna sit on the sidelines and be happy about this. No, I need to do what I need to do. Yeah. I know I can't get in there on nickel downs because that's K1's job. I know that Sherman and E-Man are starting, so unless they run a 4 wide receiver set and they decide to put me out there, I'm looking at the sideline. I'm looking at the field from the sideline. I don't want to do that. I want to get on the field and contribute in some way, shape, or form to help the team win. And that's what Dante does not have. And if he's mad about us, talking about him all the time, then he needs to prove us wrong. And I can guarantee you he will not because he's soft. He doesn't have it in him. It's unfortunate. And you got too many dogs in that wide receiver room that are going to outshine him. Jawan Jennings will outshine him.
And I got a feeling that's what George Kittle poked at, the fact that he's trying to encourage Dante to get a rod going here, bruh. Let's go. And Dante probably took it the wrong way. What I can remember.
Yeah, and some people don't know how to take that kind of criticism. And at the same time, George jokes all the damn time. He in the huddle joking, acting like he don't know what play Jimmy calling. He pissed Jimmy off half the time, and Jimmy even said it. He's like, he didn't even understand the damn play call, and then go over there and run the play exactly as it's supposed to be done. He does it all the time. George jokes like that, but he's serious at the same time because his conditioning is top level. You don't get to be the best tight end in football by just being a joke and being a nobody. And you don't have, and at the same time, you realize your potential by putting in the work. Kobe Bryant did not become a great basketball player by sitting on the bench and complaining and then waiting for something to come to him. He went out there, he did the work. Michael Jordan didn't become good at basketball by sitting there. He did the work.
Those guys will always, Karl Malone. You know what? Those guys will always set the standard in professional sport. You do things that make most people puke during a workout, and that means you are a step ahead. Good stuff. We got to go, fam.
Jerry Rice could come in and outdo Dante
there's another guy. Yeah, another standard setter.
Jerry Rice could come in and outdo Dante right now. And Jerry Rice is old. He'd come in and give you a better game than Dante would. That's pathetic.
Could you see Dante trying to run that hill with Jerry even now? Dante, Jerry, I'm gonna call an ambulance for you at the bottom of the hill. You got to wait here for a minute, though.
I'm not picking you up. I'm not picking you up. I'm not helping. That's how it works, man. Those leaders, we got leaders. We got good leaders on the squad, and I can guarantee you that room will continue to go. I believe E-Man did more than enough in that small span of time that he was with us to put it in Debo to lead, and Debo has led. And remember, Debo punked Dante for a spot. He snatched it from me. He rolled up on the bike. He was like, Dante,
we got to go. It's late, fam. It's late. We got to tell you what. I'll see you Sunday. All right.
All right, brother. Have a good night.
You too. Check out. He's Deion Johnson. You see him in the chat. Click him up. Dee's got plenty to talk about regarding 49er football. He's got content rolling. All right. Hey, Jeremy.
Hey, Ronbo.
Jamie, we're looking for leaders tonight, Jamie. All right, Jamie, have you led a football team? Maybe we can use you.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. But looking up down through the lineup, one thing I was, Dion just mentioned a rookie potentially being a leader. That I can't imagine that. I'd love to see it because that would
Yeah,
mean
no.
his maturity would already be working, and we need that from our rookies as soon as possible. But are there any
Yeah,
people
but
on this?
that would mean we don't have any. That would mean we don't have any veterans that are going to step up and take the spot, and that ain't the case.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a thing. Veterans aren't going to listen to
So,
a rook. Anyway, that's a good point.
No. Well, I mean, we should have a vet that would step up and take the spot. I got a thought on that, but let me tell you this story real quick.
Right.
You know how I'm up here in Washington, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a Blazers fan, so I'm wearing my Blazers hat. Had to go to the grocery store, and there's this guy walking around with a Blazers face mask on. I walked over and I told him, "Yeah." I said, "I like your face mask." And then I thought about it, and I'm like, "Watch this! I'm going to get him." I started walking the other way, and I said, "Yeah, I got a Niners one coming." He says, "Oh." He said, "Go Hawks!" And I just started laughing and walked away.
Good timing too. As you're exiting, it was good because you're both Blazer fans. And then because of NFL, I got a Niners one coming too. Oh,
Yeah,
I would have walked back toward him. Listen, you know what? You could still bet because a lot of you guys like to jump around from team to team. Did you know anything about the Hawks before 2013? You could be a Niner fan. It's okay.
Yeah. I had him. He's all, oh.
God.
Yeah. So anyway,
anyway.
my thoughts on the leader. I got Jimmy as the leader on the offense and the defense.
Ooh, because he
Jimmy is
was
gonna be
in
better on
2017.
Yeah,
he
he's
actually
gonna be
was.
Better on third down. He's going to keep the defense on the sideline. He's going to run the game because he's got a good line, a good rotation up front. So he's going to pick people apart, and he's going to keep that defense nice and rested.
That's another thing. You're right. He's got an offensive line. There's no Mike Person allowing defenders to come through immediately after the snap. Jimmy's going to surprise a lot of people this year. They forgot what he was in 2017. But with a good offensive line, you may see a Jimmy G. He didn't have a good offensive line in 2017 either. But he was just so hell-bent on orchestrating that offense. He was running around. He was being crazy. It was awesome. But, yeah.
Yeah, he had good pieces on the line, but he didn't have a solid line. Like, he's got a good rotation this year.
Yeah.
His offensive line is going to be way better, and he's going to control the clock. So I got him offense and defense. I think Fred Warner's going to have and Fred Warner's going to have a bigger role in the defense, I think, like you said.
Yeah, Fred, because he's just that kind of guy, you know? You can tell he's a leader of men type of dude.
Yeah. I'm not sure on the D-line, though. I mean, I'm not sure on that. It'll probably have to fall to
Armstead.
Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to.
Yeah.
But
he's the guy on the defensive line, right? Because D Ford isn't that type.
He is now.
And Nick's too young yet.
Yep. It's going to have to be Eric.
DJ Jones, not the type. Yeah, it's Eric.
I like DJ Jones to have a big year this year too, because he's working out too. I've heard him on Twitter. I follow him on Twitter, and he's snapping back at some people on Twitter. So he's putting work in.
DJ Jones?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jones is an amazing athlete. You know that dude can slam dunk, don't you?
Yeah. And he ran somebody down. Who was it? Was it Murray or Wilson?
I forget which quarterback.
He ran down from behind.
Was that the Panthers?
Yeah, it was one of those two quarterbacks. Because remember, him and Blair both got hurt running down one of those fast quarterbacks.
Yeah. I remember, you know what? I keep thinking it was because he had his way with the Seahawks center because he was a rookie.
Yeah.
Jones was just stepping on him like he couldn't wait for the ball to get snapped. You could see he had no respect for the Hawks center whatsoever.
Oh, no.
He
owned him.
Just moved him out of the way as if he weren't even there. I think it was Russ.
Yeah, and then ran him down from behind.
Yeah.
Like that's what burnt me last year. Both of my they were my favorite linemen, Blair and Jones, because they would come in, give a breather, and they would just smash out.
And no let up in
and
the
then they both got hurt running the quarterback down.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
yeah, no let up at all.
So
So
yeah.
I'm actually looking forward to the D-line this year. I'm hoping it's even better than it was last year.
You know, Sunday I think we're going to make some comparisons with certain people on that defensive line. We might. Well, I don't want to say too much about how good we're going to be because you could get yourself into. Ronbo, man, what the hell were you
Yeah,
talking
knock on
about
wood.
back? I know, but I'm just. So you know.
Have
yeah.
you heard anything about Blair's knee?
No, as a matter of fact, it's a good
Is
question.
he still working out?
I'm pretty sure he was. You know, a month or two ago, we saw him with that little
He was
running
running,
clip.
right?
Yeah, he should be running a lot faster than that by now.
I think my phone's cutting out.
Yeah.
Hey, when's the next time you're going to be on?
Sunday. Be back Sunday. Never miss a Sunday. Yeah.
Hey, my phone's cutting out real bad.
All right, Jamie. I'll see you Sunday.
All right.
Hey.
Okay.
Night.
Talk to you then. All right.
Oh, yeah. I tell you, Jones and Blair, man, those guys. Because remember, at the beginning of the year, 49ers were the most scariest defense in the world. Not only for that front line runs, the first line, the second line was just evil as well. Jones and Blair were just ridiculous. You know, hey, Dre.
Yes, sir. What's going on, bro?
Oh, Dre, man, we're wondering who's going to pick up the slack as far as them leaders go. And the obvious names come up. And Dre, I don't see any let up as far as the intensity because they learned a lot last year.
I don't see any let up, man. You got Quan Alexander, man. He came in and just immediately made an impact. Gave the defense a name. The Hot Boys.
Yes.
You got Fred Warner. You got Richard Sherman, man. There was an article, by Jennifer Lee Chan when she talked to George Kittle. He said he's never been around a leader like Jimmy Garoppolo. George is a leader. And do you not think that these other guys are not going to get behind the 7-time Pro Bowler and Trent Williams? Like, he's clearly probably the best left tackle in the game.
They can learn from him.
So, I mean, yeah, bro, I really don't think there's going to be any drop off as far as leadership needed in that locker room. I think that's a small thing.
And you're right about Jimmy G. He doesn't get enough credit. He gets a lot of flack for having made a couple of mistakes last year, but he doesn't get enough credit for his leadership skills and how they followed him in 2017, that 5-game stretch. They believed in him so much that even the defense played better ball. Yeah, I agree.
Right. Yeah, man. So I'm definitely not worried about that. I think Eric Armstead and DJ Jones take another step this year, man. Those are those guys have been with the team for a while.
2017
got a Pro Bowler like
Jones.
Hopefully, he can stay healthy. Yeah, man. We got some good veterans, man. That's on this team, man. That I'm really not too worried about that. Not at all. Not at all.
Anybody that may surprise you as a leader this year? I mean, I look at Jimmy Ward and I think, well, I don't know that he has a kind of mental makeup for that. Kwaski's out, and I could be wrong. Kwaski could be something solid. You look at K'Wan Williams. He plays a position where you may not get a lot of. He can't gain a lot of respect, but other than the fact he's just a great football player. But guys who sort of like symbolize a little bit of an authority. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I think Jimmy. I think Richard Sherman is the leader of that.
Absolutely.
Jimmy
for it.
Seems like the guy who just shows up and goes to work. You know what I'm saying?
And people have to be serious about it. Yeah, because Jimmy's serious.
Yeah,
he has to make George straighten up so many times.
Yeah, and he's been in the system for so long that when it comes to young guys, man, he can give them the correct steps to take, and he can give them a lot of good tutelage and information, so that they will be successful in the system. So, I really don't think that that's something that we have to worry about as far as guys taking leadership roles. Those leadership roles are already there on the team. I don't feel like this team is necessarily one of those teams where you have to have one leader. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was the best team. Even though we lost the Super Bowl, I feel like we're still the best team in the NFL because it's always a group effort. It's not just one guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a group effort. Maybe you might need Jimmy to talk guys up on the sideline 1 week. Maybe it might be Quan 1 week. Maybe it might be Fred. I was watching the Mic'd Up, and I was watching the Mic'd Up on the NFL Network, and I went from week 1 to 17. And, you know, it went from Joe Staley being the guy that's talking at the beginning of the game to get guys pumped up, to Fred Warner, to Quan Alexander. Then 1 week it was Jimmy Garoppolo. Then it was Richard Sherman a few weeks. Like, it was always a different guy. So it just shows, man, that it's a group effort. It's no one man that's bigger than anybody else on the rest of the team. And I think that's a good thing. You know what I mean? I think that's a really good thing, man.
And also, Dre, you played ball enough to know it's the collective agreement amongst all players that they buy into the philosophy that's being sold from that player they look upon as a stalwart of the team. I mean, so many guys that everybody followed the lead of a certain 2 or 3 players. And if once that takes over, it's like a fire. Everybody's got that same flame burning. Now you got them. Now your leaders are doing their job. Yep.
Right. Yeah, man. So I'm not too worried about that, man. I'm just like I said, the thing that I'm most excited about is people don't realize how much better our offensive line got. I was looking at the stats, and do you know that Daniel Brunskill had a 97.5 when it came to pass blocking efficiency?
Yes, indeed.
That's
I knew
ridiculous, bro.
Yep.
And so you put him in at right guard, and you bring in Trent Williams, like people really do not understand how much better our offensive line got. They don't understand.
And Dre, that's why I'm still mad at Kyle, because you saw a person was getting beat like a drum in the Super Bowl. Take him out, Kyle. Put Brunskill in. You know he can protect Jimmy. He wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it.
I mean,
damn it.
That's kind of hard to do, man. To take a starter out and put a first-year guy in the middle of the Super Bowl, Ronbo, like that's a call. You know that's like Belichick when he set Malcolm Butler in the
Butler
Super,
didn't even start.
You know what I mean?
Like,
well, he didn't even play in the game. So it's just like, you know what I mean? The past is the past, man. I'm looking forward to how
future.
much better this offensive line is. It's going to be ridiculous, man. I think the offensive line is one of the more improved groups on the team as of this year. I think that's where we're going to see a lot more improvement than we've seen last year. Jimmy was sacked 38 times last year, so I think
too many times.
I think we can get that down to like 25, 20.
Yeah.
I really think, man, that's going to push us over the hump.
And plus, as I said, you're going to see a more efficient offense from everybody on that team now, not just Jimmy. So you got a better offensive line. You got guys that know more about what they're doing. I think you're right. I'd go right to listen. Between 20 and 25 times should do it. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And then if you look at Kyle is working on them X's and O's right now, Ronbo. For all of those teams who think y'all gonna come and see the same scheme year in and year out, man, you got to be all right. So guys. Just go look at the All 22 on the NFL Game Pass, which is free right now, and look at 2018 and look at 2019. The scheme is not Kyle switched it all the way up.
Dre, and you got to stop there. We got to go, though, because the thing is, some of the guys, that guy that just came in to play, what's his name, Compton? Compton says you would not believe how Kyle's offense has evolved since I played with him. And that's been a few years ago. So Kyle is constantly tweaking that offense. It's going to be ridiculous next year with some of the rookies he's got now that are growing up. People are going to give Jimmy G, they're giving him doubt now, and people are saying weird things. Boy, they're going to stop that soon. What is it? Dre, I'm going to see you Sunday, okay?
All right, bro. Shout out to TNT fan, man. Trey Fresh, Big Show, Jerry Fresh, Russo, Shay Lewis, my player partner Will, man, all of the guys, man. Like I said, man, I'm just thing I'm most excited to see is how our offensive line has improved, man. So I'll be seeing you later this week, bro.
All right, man. Looking forward. Night, Dre.
All right. Peace.
And, hey, Curtis. Curtis.
Oh, what's up, Ronbo?
Curtis, man, we're looking for leaders on this team. Staley left. Sanders, even though he's only here for a little minute, made a huge difference on the youngsters on the wide receiver room. Then you got D-Buck, who we didn't even know how much D-Buck was getting done out there on that defensive line during the course of games. D-Buck was a leader. So, that void, is it going to be an issue? Are we going to be okay? Do you see people who can do an equally good job?
Yeah, we'll be okay. I think the defense tackle we got, I think he'll be all right. I think Kinlock will be all right. I think Kinlock will be all right.
Oh, yeah, as far as the player goes, for sure.
Because today I watched, they put the Eagle from college.
Oh.
And he had way more snaps than Kinlock did.
Yeah.
Kinlock was playing the nose tackle. And he playing a 3-4 defense. So you play a 3-4 defense, you're a defensive end rushing.
Right.
So he playing.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was listening. Go ahead.
So
Position play.
Position play. So I think Kinlock gonna be all right because I think that he should have a better year.
What's
all the pieces you got?
Buckner?
All the pieces you got. Last year, you had no pieces like that. You had no Nick Bosa, no D Ford, and you had 12 sacks.
Yeah, but you know what? In his defense, a lot of people say that about other teams. I always hear them say they make comparisons with the guys we got on our team. It's like the guy over in Oakland that had a good year, right? Or some rookie. nobody talked about him much, but he actually had more sacks than Nick. And the game is more than just sacks, but he had more sacks than the people. Oh, what is that guy's name? Anyway, Oakland Raiders defensive end was better than Buckner. And I said, I'm better than Bosa. I said, you know what? Here's the thing. Buckner may have been Cosby, yeah. Buckner may have been.
Cosby.
Yeah, Bill. Buckner may have been actually the same.
But you know what though?
Kind of victim.
But you know what though? Nick Bosa would have the same sacks. He missed a lot of sacks.
He did.
He missed a lot of sacks. But he was a rookie.
But here's the thing, Curtis. When you're playing with a bunch of stars, you have to share the quarterback. Everybody can't. It's just like when you see a lion, a pack of wolves or anything. The alphas eat first. The thing is, if Bosa's out there with just the same guys he had before, of course he's going to be the man, so he's going to have more chances. But now you got D coming in from one side, lightning speed. He's already got an advantage. Bosa coming in from the other side. You got Armstead all of a sudden turned into a fiend. Now there's only so much left to eat.
Right.
So, yeah.
So I said, Armstead. Look what Armstead did. Everybody want him to Everybody wants them to cut him last year.
Well, because everybody.
It's all about the scheme.
Yeah. Yes. This works for him. Exactly what I was saying last year.
Right.
Yeah.
It didn't work for Buckner. And Buckner ain't worth no $21 million.
He might be in their defensive scheme, though. I don't know.
Yeah, he's not no
Aaron Donald.
Right, from the Rams. He had no double-digit sacks every year. He just had that one good year. And I thought that, I was like, okay, he got that good year. Shit. With Nick Bosa and Ford, shit, he should snap.
I know. But they was taking things away from him. They was taking food off of his table. Because, it's going to be tough to beat both of them to the quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
But you can't double team three people.
But see, that's the thing is, you watch some of those games, Buckner was not being double teamed all the time. It got to the point.
But he wasn't beating his man. He was beating his man.
Well, I didn't want to go there, but the thing is, I saw Nick was a guy.
I'll go there. I'll shoot for another fan. I'm gonna tell you how it is. He wasn't beating his man one-on-one. He wasn't beating his man one-on-one. So that's why Nick got rid of his ass because he couldn't do it one-on-one. Now, Kinlaw, I put it down right now. I think just read that, Ronbo. Yes. Kinlaw will be a beast.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say first year. I ain't gonna say his first year.
He might be.
He come in and pass rush down. But his second year, we learned the system with the defense, offensive line coach we got.
Kasurek.
He gonna be nasty.
Kasurik's going to make him know that this is his system. I tell you, Curtis.
It's a system.
Yeah, I don't see Brian Baldinger, the NFL Network, has already said he doesn't see anybody in the NFL being able to stop Javon Kinlaw one-on-one. If that's
right,
true,
one-on-one. You can't stop him one-on-one. And I see Buckner, he would get stopped on one-on-one.
And if you start double teaming Kinlaw, because they were sending double teams and triple teams at Bosa, because Bosa at one point was completely out of control.
Right.
And
right.
now
don't forget about DJ Jones.
Oh, Jones, Blair.
Don't forget about DJ Jones and
Eric Armstead still hanging around. I'm telling you, man. You know,
Julian Taylor.
Oh,
I ain't worried about
the rotation.
I ain't worried about him.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't worried about. I like him, but I ain't worried about him.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Because he wasn't showing me the production. He wasn't like the type of dude Arnold Donald was. The one to take over the game.
Well,
he wasn't that one type of guy.
He got paid, and that's what they strive to do. And congratulations to him, Curtis. We got to go. Let me see you Sunday, okay?
Hey, but I'll tell you one more thing.
Real quick.
Okay, Jim G. I love Jim G.
Yeah.
I watched the game today, Super Bowl. He missed Kittle 3 times. Kittle was wide open.
Yeah.
He got stopped staring down quarterback. Receivers.
Did you also notice, though, that did you watch Mike Persons on the right side of the line? Did you also notice that he did not have time to really think?
Oh, yeah. The plays I watched, he had time because he threw to the wrong players.
Yeah. There are times when he does hit the wrong receiver, but at times Kyle Shanahan may have told him to look for it may have been a one-read thing.
But Kyle Shanahan ain't no quarterback. Kyle Shanahan ain't no quarterback. He's the coach.
That's true. Jimmy's not perfect. He's not perfect. There's some things he's going to look back at the tape and he's going to learn. But we got to remember, there's some things he's still got to learn from a rookie point of view because that was his first year. So this is the year
first year.
This was the year that Shanahan wanted him to have last year. All right, Chris, we got to go, fam. I'm going to see you Sunday. All right. Elliot.
What it is, Ronbo.
Elliot, I can hear a lot of noise. I can hear a lot of noise when you. Is there any way you can escape that?
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna take care of that for you real quickly.
All right.
Get that off of there. Look at God damn it. There we go. So check this out, Ronbo. You know, I've been listening to the show or whatever else like that. I know I ain't got much time, so I got to get it in quick. I've been listening to the show, even though I ain't been on or whatever, but I've been listening, paying attention. I'm going to start out with this. Leaders, we ain't worried about that. We know Sherman gonna handle the defense. I think that Warner and Alexander, believe it or not, are both gonna step up and be bigger leaders. And as far as the defensive line is concerned, I actually think as long as Deforest stay healthy, he gonna show them boys what time it is and get them and keep them together. You know, that's just my take. Offensive side, same two as last year. Kittles, Jimmy G. That's it. Now, I got to get to you on something that I ain't been able to talk to you about, which is the draft picks. I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I'm not sold on the draft picks, okay? I'm not going to talk bad about them, though. What I'm going to do is give everybody their chance to do what they do and show me that we was worth picking them at the position that we picked these guys at. Kinlaw, I'm not sure. I didn't watch too much of Kinlaw. You know what I'm saying? I only seen highlights. He looked good, but we'll see what he do. The wide receiver, Brandon. Look, all I'm going to say is this. You know I'm a big Chase Claypool fan. You feel me?
I love me some Claypool, too. Yes.
And so I'm saying I'm a big Chase Claypool fan, largely for the fact that of two things here he can do big time, which is he can go downfield. He's a big target. He high points the ball. He's great at catching contested passes. He's super strong, and he can block. Bro. Block. Can you understand that? Block. The man can block. So, you know, I feel like we kind of missed out on that, but if that's what we pick, he just better be better than the guys that was in front of him, like Judy and CD Lamb. He better turn out to be a good addition for our scheme, for our team. So I'm going to give him a chance. I'm not going to complain and talk about it or nothing like that. I like the Jawan Jennings pick. I've seen him. The boy can ball. He's strong as hell. He'll be great for us on third and in the trenches when it comes to like first and
dirty
goal,
time.
stuff like that. Yes. He'll be straight for us there. I'm gonna say this also too. I actually think we're going to keep more wide receivers. Unless I'm not sure of how many wide receivers we can keep on the team.
I
think that will. I think that we're going to keep at least 7 receivers on this team.
I can see it.
I'll be honest, because
this year I could see it.
You got her. Yeah, you got her. You got the new guy, Brandon. You got Debo. You got Jawan Jennings, who I believe is going to work out for us. You also have Trent Taylor. You got Kendrick Bourne. But then it gets tricky. I think Richie James, Marquise Gwynn, they out of there. But I'm telling you,
Goodwin's already gone.
I'm a Notre Dame fan, so I watch these boys. Okay, I watch these boys game in, game out. Trent Taylor better not be slipping. He will become expendable for Chris Fink because, like I told you about the boy within the Kansas City Chiefs, Mahomes, that he was Dan Marino 2.0, but he was at mobility. That is exactly what Fink is. He is Trent Taylor 2.0. He can do everything that man can do, and he will make the team because he will be Trent Taylor's insurance if Trent Taylor does not show up. That's all I really want to say about as everything goes. But I do got to say this. I like Dre, man. He's a cool cat. He's heavily into stats, and that's his whole thing or whatever. But, bro, I just want him to know this. I've been watching this game way longer than him. Stats do lie. Highlights do lie, bro. Do not always count your chickens on what you see from stats and so forth like that, because in college, it's little bitty boys that these grown men be pushing around and playing against. It's people who like Cole Kmet playing with somebody like Ian Book, who is a run-first quarterback and can't keep his feet straight because he'll dip out if he don't see his first. So you don't get all the passes that you should have gotten. Maybe if you come back to him, he's wide open. If you would have waited a second less, he'd have broke open. You didn't see it and he bust up, so he don't get all the accolades he should get. But I promise you, Thaddeus Moss, I had to laugh at his remark towards the boy got skills on draft day. Thaddeus Moss did not get drafted for a reason. He is slow. He is not a great catcher. Cole Kmet is the best tight end in the dang on draft. He's bigger, stronger, faster than everybody that you got to put up. And even his garbage-ass partner on LSU got drafted before him. So I hope he understands that sometimes stats and highlights do lie. And I promise you, the same thing he said that the boy got skills wasn't doing, which was watching Thaddeus Moss, he is not watching Cole Kmet. They game plan for him first and Chase Claypool second every game. Every game. They're not game planning for Thaddeus Moss. I'm sorry. They're not. They're just not. You know, and he was projected to be a 5th-round pick. You can't be that good. You can't be the best dude in the draft and then coming out as a 5th-round pick. Come on, man. Stop that.
There you go.
I like Dre. I like Dre.
No,
He a cool cat. He a cool dude.
In fact, a lot of people thought Thaddeus was going to do better than it. Did Thaddeus get picked up by anybody?
Yeah, he got drafted the next day by Redskins. They picked him up undrafted, and you know he's motivated. He's motivated. Ain't nothing like a motivated player, so you know.
There you go. We got to go, fam. But you can't do Randy's son like that. I mean, he got to go to some team.
I thought somebody would say, "Yo, that's Randy, my son. Let's give him a let's just pick him up just because."
We got to go.
But it didn't happen.
All right, man. Get back in this Sunday, you
trust me. All right, if I do. If I don't worry. I'm still listening to your show, period, and I'm point blank. Have a good one, Ronbo. Love you, man, and stay safe out there, all right, boy?
Thanks, man.
All right, man.
Easy, huh? There he is. Elliot, telling it like it is. All right. Hey, Nick.
Hey, what's up, Ronbo?
Nick, how you doing tonight? Everything all right?
Man, I've been doing really good lately. How about you, Ronbo?
Great to hear it. Absolutely fine. I mean, it's a bad time, but kick it back could become fun at times. but Nick, you know what? Hey, tonight, the 49ers leadership probably took a little bit of a hit. But when you look at it realistically, maybe not. We did, of course, because we're going to miss some of those names that we grew to enjoy and love. Joe Staley, nobody wants to see Joe Staley leave. We did pick up a guy that's probably going to be able to lead the team in at least similar fashion in Trent Williams. Sanders, of course. There's the thing now. The wide receivers, are they going to be okay now that Sanders is gone? Because they turned it up a whole new volume after Sanders got there. And then, of course, you got Deforest Buckner. We've got so many leaders on defense. I don't know if Buck's going to really make any difference in that category. But any leadership droughts we have, do you think we have any? And also, do you know of any player on the team that could be a leader that's not being talked about?
Okay, so wide receiver standpoint, we brought in the rookies that we brought in with Brandon Ayuk, Juwan Jennings, Jalen Hurts coming back. Who's the guy they talked about right now? Notre Dame, Finke.
Chris.
Trent Taylor's gonna have to look out for. Yeah, he's gonna look. Trent Taylor's gonna have to look out for his spot.
Yeah, he's got to watch his back on Finke.
Kendrick. I'm not gonna lie, Kendrick Bourne. Yeah, there's probably players out there that are working that aren't putting it on social media, but from what I've seen from Kendrick Bourne working out with Quan, fuck, dude, he looks good. He looks good.
And he was putting it on the field last year. Kendrick was making some crucial catches. Those TDs. Hey, Sam. Every time you looked on the field and you saw us near the goal line, Nick, did you? I was always saying, okay, 10 yards, 15 yards out. Where's 84? Where's 84? The first thing in my mind is, where's 84? Kendrick.
On third down and on goal line and in the red zone. Third down and red zone.
And did you notice how well he blocked? But hey, I would recommend anybody that wants to go back and watch 49 games, watch Kendrick's blocking. He was stellar. He doesn't get any credit for that. Nobody talks about him blocking, but Kendrick was sealing off for that run. I said, wow, I didn't notice Kendrick was that busy. I only waited for him on passing downs, but Kendrick can block. But go ahead. I'm sorry. I get carried away when I talk about Kendrick.
No. For sure. So if we want to break it down, leadership standpoint on offense and defense, and in the actual groups, D-line, Arik, he just got the payday. I think him and honestly, D-Ford, that's who I'm looking at to be the two leaders on that defensive side of the ball. They're the ones with the most experience, and obviously they're the ones with the. I'm not going off pay, but they got to step up. They got to be the leaders on that defensive side, on the actual front end.
If for nothing else, due to their pay grade. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Fred Warner, I already seen. Last year he matured crazy. He got it from Quan. Quan came in, someone said he's a hype man, but he brings in that fire, and Quan is that leader. He's that brain. Quan is that brain on the linebacker standpoint. DB, Uncle Sherman, he's just gonna hold it down. Yeah. But it is on that. So is Sherman? Does it really matter? Left side, right side? Actually, Sherman's a right side cornerback, right? He's a right side, right cornerback.
Yeah, he does stay on one side of the field, doesn't he? I think it is the right side.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
I think he stays on the right side because when when quarterback calls height, that's his first side he's looking at. But on the other side, it's open game. Is it Mosley? Is it Witherspoon? It's open game on the other side.
Yeah.
Jason Brett could sneak in there. If he stays healthy, when he was healthy, he was a Pro Bowl for the Chargers, but that was some years ago. And then obviously he got burnt in that one play. But you never know. It's open game on the other side of the field. It's open game.
Yeah, and then there could be a sleeper involved here. We're going to see because Jared, the kid we just got from Bama, he can play more than safety. The interview I had with him, He can play.
Yeah, I see what you're
He
saying.
could actually compete for that spot if the 49ers think he's capable, because they're looking for a future. Sherman's only going to give us another year at the most. This year, maybe another year, but that's going to be it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, up top we have Ward and Tart, but that secondary spot, I mean, after Sherman, it's pretty questionable. That's the biggest thing I've seen with our defense. After Sherman, our secondary is very questionable.
Yeah. Well, we said this last year, too. You know, I said last year, Nick.
Yeah.
Everybody started talking about, man, our defense is going to be tough up front, man, but I don't know about that secondary. Turns out that secondary is one of the best in the NFL, if not the best. And I said, listen, behind that defensive line, you don't have to have a bunch of all-stars behind you. They'll be fine. There it is. That's all it takes.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Those guys were never bad. People didn't give them credit for how good they were, but they were never bad. And all they needed was a defensive front line to work behind. That's the way it works. So.
No, for sure.
Yeah. Nick, we ran out of time already.
Jimmy, yeah.
So
we ran out of time? All right, for sure.
Yeah. Let me see you Sunday. All right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. No, hey, take care, Ronbo.
Thanks, fam. Night. I gotta let you guys talk more. I get carried away. Hey, James.
What's up, Ronbo? How you doing?
James, you had an MMA fight? What's all that shouting going on behind you?
I'm sorry about that, man. I was.
It's drowning
out.
out. There you go.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, man. I was sitting in the living room, me and my wife watching something on TV.
Oh yeah. It sounds like exciting stuff. But James, go ahead. We're looking for leaders tonight. Other than you know what? You could talk about the leaders involved and amplify on what they may bring to the table. You can also talk about guys that you may think could be leaders and nobody's talking about them. That silent type is about to break out. You know, go ahead.
I'll tell you one thing, not cutting you off. Thank you once again
No, it's okay.
for having me and for all that you and your staff do for this minor empire. And thank you for everything. And with that being said, I think even in losing, big leaders like Buckner as well as Sanders, the show's got to keep rolling. And with that being said, here's a prime example. I'm listening to everybody saying, well, who's going to, be the next leaders to step up to replace these guys? But here's a prime example. Here's two, and a caller got it right, either the last caller or the caller before, when he said about, Sherman is an instrumental leader, but do not take it for granted at all. Here's what you call leading by example. A player like Dre Greenlaw being a 5th-round pick, rookie linebacker drafted by the 49ers, first year, he's put in a position where he became a starter. He replaced Quan. And no, he started the whole season at that position. He started at the will. And then Quan eventually got hurt at the mic, and he moved over to the Sam, I believe it was.
Yeah, Al-Shar came in, and to take over, or to help out.
Al-Shaziz came in, and with that being said, this guy didn't skip a beat, didn't get injured, thanks be to God, had great camaraderie with all the team, growing as a rookie, and takes us to a Super Bowl, but makes a very defining play on our playoff run to beat a divisional opponent for the NFC division title, basically. In his first year, that right there, I mean, what he says right now should carry a lot of weight in that locker room, because, it's, okay, you're a leader, show me what you got. He helped this team go to the Super Bowl in the first year, okay? And he was a real important part of that defense, okay? Emmanuel Mosley is another one. Even Tavares Moore and these guys. So they're just, as far as it goes with the receivers, I think KB is in a position right now, when I listen to him on a show with Matt Diaco, he seems like he's got the right mindset right now that he knows he's the next one in line to do this for this team. Kyle expects it of him.
Yeah.
This is going into your third year in a Niners uniform. It's time, bro.
4. He came in 2017.
4 years. Okay,
yeah.
right. That's right. Going into your 4th season with us. So, you know, I mean, I really, truth be told, you know, I watch a lot of football. I watch a lot of highlights. I can, you know, it's kind of like meeting somebody where their first impression is usually their best impression. And to me, I think I don't really see this defense skipping a beat. I mean, no more than, they can't be in OTAs and spring training right now. And, you know, well, they're not in OTAs right now. Let's just leave it at that. We don't know what's to come yet. Hopefully they will be in spring and mini camps and stuff like that. But I really think that right now they've got a chip on their shoulder, like it's some unfinished business because, you know, we were 6 minutes away from, you know, getting a ring here recently a couple of months ago. And, you know, we didn't come up short or didn't have enough firepower to outduel these guys. We did. We just made some bad decisions on the defense at the very last moments of the game. But now, with that being said, you know, I look at, you know, somebody like Kinlaw. I think this guy is going to come right in and pretty much hone that spot down because it's expected of him, and he's hungry. And, you know, Debo had made a statement and said, man, I could see it in him back when I was with the Gamecocks. I knew what kind of player he was, and I know what they're about to get. That's exactly what Debo Samuel said about Javon Kinlaw. He said he knows exactly what they're about to get because he watched him every single week when he was a Gamecock. You know, watched him play.
Which was only a year ago.
Serious. Yeah. And he doesn't. You know, he hasn't. He's got this ability of however is rolling, you do your part, and all, you know, everything else will work itself out. So as
it should be. James got to pump the brake.
Yeah,
James, I'm going to see you out. I'm looking for you Sunday. Good stuff. I love some of the guys you pointed out. All right.
Oh, yeah. Everybody out there, be safe and careful and, you know, all the social distances and be aware and keep yourself alive, my sister and the brother. And it's honor empire. And even them old scabs that ain't part of the empire. We still love you. You're a football fan. We might not like you on Sundays when the game is going down. But, you know, hey, I'm still going to pray for you, okay? Love y'all all. Be blessed. Have a great evening. Nana Empire, Nana for life. You know how I end it. Good night, Ronbo. Thank you.
Night, James. How many guys have been blocked by Texas boy? Bang your hands together. Texas boy kills me, that chat. Hey, what TJ? I think it was DJ Ward. Yeah, thanks, DJ. Also, I saw a couple of the comments saying hi. Some folks are just coming in for the first time. I can't really zoom into the comment because usually I'm doing two things at once. But I see you. I see. Hey, what's up? All right. Hey, Nudge. Nudge. Yo, Nudge. Nudge, you coming back to you? All right, we'll come back. And hey, Jay. Jay.
Ronbo.
Jay. And Jay, you're just the guy for this because Jay's always got a different avenue on most things, which is always fun. And Jay, we are looking at leaders. That's when you know Jay's rolling down the road. We're looking at leaders, Jay, and Deforest Buckner's gone, as you know, all San Francisco through and through his body. His body pumps not only red, but gold blood as well. Joe Staley. And Emmanuel Sanders. Jay, I do still wonder, I don't know what he did to the wide receiver room, but will they still keep that same energy and intensity with him saying, goodbye, I got to go to the Saints? And any other leaders you see, Jay, what you got?
Oh, yeah. I mean, on offense, you know, Jimmy G, first of all.
And that's it.
Kittle.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. That's the main thing. And Trent Williams won't come in and be a leader, but yeah, Jimmy definitely got to take his leadership up another game. You know what I mean? It's time for him to do other things than what Cal tell him to do.
And you know what? They all love him like that anyway. They'll listen to G because they all, unlike a lot of folks, they all believe in him. They'll fight for him like crazy in the media too. So yeah, you're right about that. Jimmy's number one, actually. Yeah.
It's time for him to make that team his. You know, like Tom Brady and everybody else, Russell Wilson, make their team his. It's time for Jimmy to make it his.
Yeah.
And on wide receiver, KB gonna step his game up. You know what I mean? There's another contract year for him too. He got about $3.5 million. He got about $3.5 million, so you know he's gonna want to step up. He wants that big contract.
Yeah.
And he's been the most consistent receiver we had over the last 3 years since Calvin been here. So. And on defense, you know, Quan, Fred Warner, Uncle Sherman, you know, and I don't see how people saying our secondary was still a question mark when they're a year further in the defense. And, you know what I mean, they done had a year experience all the way to the Super Bowl.
Which is always important.
And they was number one. And they was number one in pass defense last year. So why are they taking a step back? Why we still questioning Kello and E-Man? I mix them both together. You know what I mean? And we got a solid number 2 corner. So I don't see the problem there. And our D-line, oh man, our D-line gonna be better than last year.
There it is. It's been said again.
That's because Sheldon Day, he gone. You know what I mean? Oh, Danny Sheldon, what's his name? I don't even remember his name.
Did Sheldon Day bother you, Jay? Sheldon Day, he had a game here and there, but for the most part, he was getting worked a lot.
And you know what I mean? Him and Buckner on a run will get worked. You know what I mean? Now you got DJ Jones and Kinlaw.
DJ does not get worked.
Power. Both of them.
Boy.
Come on. Both of them are power players. So that run defense gonna be even solid. And both of them have good pass rush ability. So between Buckner and Sheldon Day and DJ, now DJ getting the starting role, and man Kinlaw, that D-line gonna be nasty.
This is why I don't worry about Kinlaw's growth. If he's having a little trouble and making the adjustment to the NFL for the first 2 or 3 weeks, DJ Jones gonna say, "I got this. When you ready to go, let me know." I got a lot of faith in Jones too. I really do.
Oh yeah, but both of them side by side is gonna be better than Buckner and Sheldon Day side by side.
Ooh.
Both of them out and both of them dogs. They got that relentless.
Yeah. That's what I like. It'll be out here barking. Throw him some raw meat. Oh, God, yes. So I agree.
As far as the leaders on the D line, it's gonna be Bosa and Armstead. Not D Ford. I'm sorry. D Ford ain't got that. In his press conference, he showed you he ain't got that attitude.
Yeah, D's not a rah-rah, let's go, pick it up kind of guy. I agree with you there. I feel that too. Yeah. D's out there.
He's just like, I'm here to do my job.
Yeah, but there's no need to expect a whole lot more from me as far as keeping the troops lined up and the morale high. I'm here to kick some butt. I'm going to help you kick butt. But that's where my job ends. Yeah.
You could tell when he was on the sideline, he always just sitting there waiting quiet. Ain't really giving too much conversation.
He stays relaxed.
And
then explodes when that ball
got
snaps.
that dog in him.
I know, right? Nick is just the dude is crazy. That's what I like about
him. The crowd, it's one thing you can't never question is a man passion. When you show passion like that on a football field, other people gonna follow.
Man. And he had that kind of following at Ohio State. Man, every guy on the team loved Nick. This is why when they try to tell me Nick Bosa was a racist, oh, give me a break, man. You know what he grew up around, it wasn't all white people he was with all the time. He played ball with black kids from the time he was a little baby till the time he got to the NFL. I don't believe he's a racist. And all the black kids that play with him, they love his butt. So you can't hide if you're that way. If you're a racist or a bigot, you are noticeable. No. That's why I know they will follow him.
He a person. He a person. How many black people you know that say things about the other, white people and other nationalities that ain't really racist, but
I know.
had that moment.
I know that. And especially you got friends. You can't control your friends. Hey, Jay,
Right.
let me see you Sunday, fam. All right?
Already. Thanks, Ronbo. I appreciate you. Have a
Appreciate
blessed
you, fam.
night. Have a blessed night, faithful. Night! Bang, bang, not again. Question 6, revenge tour. Let's get it.
I love when he does that. Jay, roll easy out there, man. Be careful. I'm going to see you Sunday.
I have a blessing, Ronbo.
Too, fam. Here goes Jay. Hey, and Shirley.
Ronbo.
Shirley, man, tonight, we haven't seen 2020 yet, but we can anticipate good things because the leadership that may have they took a hiatus. They left us. They've gone. But we got so many leaders on this team now, I think we will be fine, Shaleel. But Shaleel, who are they? And what is your opinion on this day of May? I knew I could make that rhyme. Shaleel!
I forgot to. I mentioned it before. There's a red rifle
Yeah.
in Dallas.
I heard it's
He's
jammed.
about to be a starter.
Yeah. If they can find the bullets.
Is he really?
Yeah. I think so.
How about them cowgirls? How about them lambs? How about them Seacocks? How about them Arizona play card Cardinals? And last but not least, how about the Oakland, Las Vegas, Raider Joes?
Hey, it's so funny. Every time you mention it, I just realize we've not heard about Dak signing anything, nor has he been franchise tagged. What is going on with that? I think the Red Rifle will be firing this year.
Oh, man, they're done.
Woo! But Shaleel, let us leave the.
Like an inside joke or something.
Let's leave behind the trivials. So you got something planned there? No. Let us leave behind. Let us leave behind the trivial teams that really don't have a prayer against the awesome forces of the Red and Gold Army anyway, and talk about things that are really more of a higher class, like the 49ers. Shaleel, leaders on this team, are we going to miss a beat in 2020?
No, but we need to get rid of this trash bag, Dante Pettis. Oh my goodness. I love, you know what? I love talking about him.
I noticed.
I like talking about him. He colors his hair.
Yeah.
He goes to Color Me Mine, colors his hair. He's eating cookies, making cookies. He doesn't care about, wanting to catch balls. He's not training. So every day when I come on the Ronbo Sports Show, we're going to talk about
First thing he does is take a shot at the Cowboys, and then he goes right to Dante, yes.
Because he's not catching the ball. He's not catching the ball. He wanted to catch the ball his rookie year, and he's not doing any of that. He's not catching nothing.
I wish I knew why. He'll get better. He's got to. He's got to get better or get gone. He's got a choice. But anyway, actually, Shaleel, when you look at our leaders, I think that they may be even louder because they'll be trying harder this year. When I think about Richard Sherman's going to be still Richard Sherman. That's who he is. But now it's going to be Eric Armstead, who's been kind of the quieter type of guy. He's just he's an assassin on the field last year, but you didn't hear about him barking too loud. I mean, the pregame, he wasn't doing a Patrick Willis or anything. Listen, we're all we got. We're all we need. We're all we got. We're all we need. You didn't see all that from him on the sideline. But Quan Alexander is that guy. I like Quan a lot. So if there's ever a letdown and intensity out there, Quan will keep everybody in that defense on their toes. Shalil?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
And Solomon Thomas, man, this guy, he is a bust.
Oh, God. We got to wait till this year, though. Shalil, Solomon this could be it. He could finally find the light. He could be a force. We may look at Solomon on the sideline and Nick will look going over to him. You okay? Yeah. Well, you almost ran over me getting at that dude, man. I'm on your side. Remember that, okay? Solomon becomes the Tasmanian devil out there. He's just running over people trying to get at the quarterback. And don't run. Solomon will not only tackle you, but they'll take a backhoe to get you out of the dirt. Oh, I just want all this for Solomon T. Because, Shalil, I know you feel the same. You like Solomon T. You just wish he'd hurry up. We like Dante. We just wish he'd quit clowning around. These guys got talent. Show us. We're trying to win some games here. Going back to the Super Bowl. You want to be a part of it or what? That's all we ask.
When I look at that Super Bowl, I think of, if we had Pettis and Goodwin playing. Oh, what a relief it would have been for Jimmy G. But nope, this guy Pettis, he faked his injury. I'm telling you, if I gave you my binoculars, you would see him on the ground playing with kitty cats, and that's why Kittle makes fun of him. Kyle doesn't believe in him. They told him to get on a routine diet, and Lynch is trying to get the both of them to be good.
Oh, God. We'll see you next year. So we're going to see. I'm going to see you Sunday, all right, with the Raider Joes.
Shout out to the Niner Empire. Thank you for the platform, Ronbo.
Thank you.
Wash your hands, soap and water.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Night, Shalil. Alice.
Yo, what's going on, family?
Ellis, man, tonight, man, it's just fun here. The NFL's already said, all right, next week, get on back to your facilities. Let's go. And how it is in Cali, though. So the 49ers got to find another spot. But it's exciting knowing that the NFL says, hey, man, we plan, man. I mean, y'all, we plan. I mean, guys going to have to test every day. If they don't wash their hands, they go get B-slapped. If, we can't keep no social distance, so, because when that quarterback goes back to throw the ball, we going to be in his face. That's a subject for another day. How are they going to do this? But, Ellis, team leaders today. Do you see any let-up in the leadership of this team after having lost 3 perennial individuals?
I don't see anybody letting up at this point, with all of the I think it's like an extra boost of motivation with all this delay and being able to kind of take some time and rest up like it's came before. I just thinking about how preserved everybody's going to be, and I think we're going to come back strong. I don't see no let up though. I really see Quan taking another step. I see we speaking on the team, just the team as a whole, or defensively, or is it any
offensive and defensive leaders? Because Rich, we already know offensively, this is Jimmy's team. He's going to be able to lead that team and keep their minds where they're supposed to be. Richard Sherman dares anybody on defense to do anything but be serious. I'm looking at some of the other guys around the team that are going to be able to help out with that. And George Kittle. George Kittle, as much as he likes to clown and play and have a good time, I got a feeling he's got leadership in him as well. He knows when to quit, most likely. Offensively, though, Ellis, after George, after Jimmy, Trent Williams, yeah, I figure after day one, after everybody gets to know him and see him work, that's how you lead a team by example. They'll listen to whatever he's got to say, right? After that, though, who? Somebody mentioned Kendrick.
Yeah, I would say Kendrick. He'll be first in line for me. I don't know Trent. He hasn't been with us, so I'm just speaking about the guys that have been with us, thus far. I know, Trent will obviously do his thing in his own right, and he'll be able to,
show us what he's all about as far as being a Niners concerned. But Kendrick is going to be on another, I think he's going to be on another level. He's trying to prove a point and just let the world know, in the NFL, know that he's, him and Debo, they're going to be going back and forth. I feel like them two guys are going to be major in the offense, like, a primary, being that Debo is already doing. He's doing clearly. We already got George. It's just time to start, like I said, utilizing these weapons, man. I think if Kyle really starts opening up, doing some more play action and getting these guys some good plays, I think that it's going to be a lot of offense going this year. I think we might break a record or something. I don't know yet. I'm just looking at everybody, and I'm seeing that. I'm seeing us really breaking barriers, you know what I mean, offensively and just, these guys individually. And, I'm excited. If we get a healthy Jalen and a healthy Trent Taylor, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. And I think we'll be needing maybe 7 receivers. We still got Poindexter, right, that we don't even talk about. And I know he was actually really good in college from what I was looking at his, tape and everything. And he hasn't even gotten any ticks. So I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe he won't make the team.
He had an injury.
I don't know.
An ACL last year. I wonder if he's ready to roll. ACL sometimes you never know after a whole year off, but he had the whole year off too. I mean, from preseason on. So I hope he's okay. We'll see.
Yeah, we haven't gotten any feedback with that. But I want to see Jimmy. Really. I feel like he's going to take another step. Up in his production. I know. Like I said, it's hard. Being a quarterback, you take a lot of things into consideration, and you always feel like the one that's responsible at the end of the day, even though it's a team effort. But that's just kind of that mindset that you have. And so I think Jimmy's going to maybe, take that mentally, and then all of the, the mess that's been, being talked and things like that being thrown around, that he's just going to come and take it up another notch, even though he already did very well. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to still have him fourth in the Western, in our division.
Ellis,
you know what I mean? They're still trying to have him fourth, and I don't really care for that too much.
Oh, hold on. Hey, we don't talk politics in it. Don't get that started, because once that gets started, it gets out of hand. So I'm going to delete that comment, all right? And don't get started with the politics, please. All right. I'm sorry, let's go ahead.
Okay. Okay, yeah. No, but yeah, Ronbo, that's just, I'm just feeling like we're going to really be doing some things, man, and some guys are going to step up defensively. I feel like, Sherman's going to do his thing, man. It took me a while to get adjusted to Sherman because I was so used to hating and being on Seattle. I'm going to be honest. I'm passionate about it, so it was hard for me to adjust. I'm like, he better be doing his damn job. I ain't really concerned about him, but, but he's been putting in work, and, you got to give him his just due, and hopefully he just continues to play at a high level, even, in his closing. And, everything's going to be good, man. I feel good. Nico, shout out to Jimmy Ward. I've been adding him on our conversations, and so he went to my page and had liked some music or something I had on my page or whatever.
All right.
And, so shout out to Jimmy, man. If you're listening, man, that's love for my my instrumental. I had something I was wearing all Niners. It was a little contest, you know what I mean? And I was a highlight of the contest, and I was wearing my all Niner gear. So,
absolutely,
I got to push the line anywhere. We just got to represent, man. But shout out to everybody, Ronbo. I'm gonna let you get back to it. I'm feeling good though. I don't think there's anything that we need to really be worried about at this point. It's just trying to get back and get everybody acclimated with what's going on. Brandon Ayuk, I feel like he's going to have a breakout for his rookie season. I just hope that everything goes in the motion that we need so these guys can, get the reps and with the support from the team.
Experience they need, and let's go. Exactly. All right, Ellis.
Yeah.
Good stuff, fam.
All right, champ.
See you Sunday.
Always. Thank you, Ronbo. I appreciate you, man. Y'all download that Ronbo Sports app, man. Make sure, we need those subscribers going up. I know with 30,000, it might be a little, maybe we'll take baby steps. Let's get to 25, and then, we'll graduate. You know what I mean? We'll go to 30,000, and let's get Ronbo there, man. He deserves all of that, man.
Thanks, Ellis.
Shout out to all of the Niners faithful, man.
All right,
much
fam.
love. Respect.
Have a great night, Ellis. All right.
You too,
there
man.
he is. He's got great music, too. You can check out Ellis' side. I got to see Ellis on the chat. Click him up. And me.
Ronbo. What's going on tonight?
Man, we're just sitting there scanning down through the roster and seeing who is that type? Who is that dude? who could continue. Because you know what the funny thing about it is, I don't know. I'm just looking at it from this way because we don't really need. We got so many guys now that actually Staley leaving, but Staley represented more the leadership. He had something to do with the pulse of that team. This is why Staley is going to be difficult to. You can have a guy come in and be a leader, but I don't know that they'll have the same impact on the team as Joe Staley. So I don't even know if he's beatable. It's like George said, as a group effort, we can replace Joe. But then Sanders just been with us for a few months. And that dude came in and changed that whole complexion of that wide receiver room, it looked like.
First game.
Yeah. And then you got, of course, Deforest Buckner. You know what's so funny, IB? Did you know what he was doing for that defensive line other than just being on it? I thought the Buckner was just out there. One of the main men looked upon as one of the best defenders on the team. I didn't ever look at him as a real leader.
Calling
he
out
was setting up
offenses
plays and things.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we not giving him enough credit for none of that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I would have been giving it to him all along. I didn't know.
I mean, but you know, at the same time, you know, it's a mind game, but it's also a physical game. You know what I'm saying? And I still don't think what he was mentally capable of takes away or allows him to have a fall off season like he had last year. I mean, I love Buckner, and I think we're gonna miss that. But I think a couple people have said it tonight, and I've said it a couple weeks ago, man. I think we got a present with this young man Greenlaw because now we seen what DJ Jones has been able to do all last year, and he balled out for us last year out of nowhere, realistically to me. And
you know we got him in 2017.
And when you add two of those, and you know what I'm saying, Greenlaw's a bigger guy, so he gives us that physical presence like Buckner, but his style of defense is exactly what Kuseric teaches. So that right there, I don't know if it was Ellis or whoever it was, but it was somebody that said it for sure, Jay maybe. But this defense is gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot different this year, man. We're not even worried about the secondary because you ain't got time. This is gonna be a little bit different, I think, man. You know, I don't really worry about Sherm too much because you know, Sherm's coming off a lot of injuries, and he's still been healthy. Health is the only issue that I was worried about. He's been healthy, so God willing, he stays healthy. And you know, me specifically, I think. I don't know. I think Devo's going to have a good year because there's a lot of hype coming off of him. I think Kittle's going to have a good year, but I think it's I think it's going to be Greenlaw and Fred, like I said before. You know what I'm saying? I got faith in KB, but listen, man, you know, we can't get hyped off of Instagram and Twitter videos. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is what we want every player to do. Also, I mean, we don't see nothing. We don't see Jimmy working. Should we be worried? You know what I'm saying? We make way too much of it.
I mean, just poured some good sense on everything with that.
Hey,
I mean, we don't get mad at
Ronbo,
Jimmy, and he ain't posting no workout videos. That's true.
But Ronbo, do you remember a time where in the off season the league didn't even allow offensive players to work out together because it was illegal? You know, you remember that time?
Well,
so I mean,
those coaches weren't involved, right? I mean,
I think I think there can't be any offensive plays or something like that. It's, you know what I'm saying. There is restrictions involved. So, you know what I mean. But God willing, we'll get it all together. And you know, I what I meant to say too is I truly believe Jimmy Ward and Tark gonna have a good year this year, because Ward said that. The style of the secondary is actually more in his favor, where he can be a ball hawk this year. He said he's more of a free safety. He doesn't play in that box. So what we've been seeing, Tark down by the line, we should expect Jimmy to be freed up back there in coverage.
You're right.
You know,
He
help
is talking about expanding his role. Maybe that's what you're right. Maybe that's what he's talking about. Yeah.
And he's got the speed. He can. I mean, you know, these guys are talking about Earl Thomas, but Earl Thomas can't get sideline to sideline. Jimmy gets sideline to sideline every play, and he puts a pop on you guys. You know what I'm saying? So
I know. With his little self, Jimmy will knock the bejesus
Right.
at you. Oh, what does Jimmy weigh?
Right.
He weighs what, 190 maybe? Man.
Yeah. Oh, he's 6 foot. He's 6 foot. You know.
Does he weigh over
but
200
he's
pounds?
I think he's 200 at least. But he's played all 4 positions in secondary for us, man. You don't expect him to get injured. He's going to get injured.
If you want somebody to side with you, saying nothing but good things about Jimmy, you came to the right place, man. I've been defending Jimmy Ward ever since 2016. Boy, I'd say, man, come on, man. You know, I love to fight about Jimmy. That's my
because we greedy, man. I'm a Niners fan since the '80s, bro. One thing that we really don't. I mean, I'm not gonna say we haven't had, but when we get it, it's like a diamond in the rough. It's that secondary. Our linebackers are beautiful here and there when we get them, and sometimes we get that front line. But if we can get a secondary, it's Super Bowl time. Yeah. Because then we cover the whole angle, man. We cover everything, the whole field.
What's the name of that paint company that covers the earth? That's us, Jack.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. I think we got a commercial or something like that too, right?
That's it. I mean, we had see, you guys start talking about Dub. It's a good time. We done ran out of time. Let me see you Sunday. All right.
All right, we'll be back. Yep, appreciate the platform, Ronbo.
Thanks, fam. Have a good night.
Yeah, have a good one. You too, yep.
There's that IB. Now, you see, he's on my good list now. IB always was, but now he's on my especially good list. You start saying good things about my boy Dub. Yes, I'm biased. Love me some Dub. Hey, Chico, Nudge. Nudge. Kevin. Kevin?
Hey, Ronbo, can you hear me?
Kevin, you sound like you're on speakerphone.
Ronbo, can you hear me now?
Yeah, but it sounds like you're talking to a megaphone.
How about now, Ronbo? Can you hear me now? Is that better?
That's a lot better there. You got how many buttons did you switch there?
Yeah, I had my headphones on, Ronbo, so sometimes my headphones don't. They don't work properly. So
it sounded kind of reminded me of when the guys the base pad is at on Earth, and the guys orbiting the Earth, and we're trying to get through to him. Ronbo, Houston, we have a problem.
Yeah, sorry about
Houston
that, Ronbo.
Does have a problem. They got rid of D-Hop, you idiots. But Kevin, here's the thing. The 49ers, when I look at the team now, after having these discussions tonight, we don't have a leadership problem. Or do you see a problem?
Ronbo, I don't see any leadership issues. I think Emmanuel Sanders coming in last year was great. He was a great example for the young wide receiver core, and Debo has made it, pretty apparent that he's going to step up and be that leader. I think Kendrick Bourne, being in this is his 3rd season now, I think he's going to step up, and I think he's going to become a leader on the offensive side of the ball.
He actually came in 2017.
Yeah, so, KB is going to definitely have a better season than last year. He's going to have some good production. But I've kind of taken a back seat since the draft. I haven't called in a couple weeks, just diagnosing everything. And truth be told, I had a hissy fit with our 2 first-round picks after the guy. I was not a happy camper going to sleep that night, but waking up the next day and realizing what they had done, and picking Ayuk at 25 when they wanted him at 13, and adding Kinlaw. Really surprised me, and I realized how good our front office really is.
I know, right? Hey, didn't they give John an award last year? Didn't he win what was that award? But Lynch, he did receive some accolade. I can't remember exactly what it was. But yeah.
But anyway, just so overall, I was really happy with the draft, and we got this guy Colton McKivitz who had over 1,000 snaps in college and only gave up 5 sacks.
I like
he's
that.
Not a fast guy. He's not a fast guy, but his 10-yard split is where you want it to be for an offensive lineman. So
absolutely,
it's not about getting downfield. It's about that getting out in front of screens and making that first block. So, but in terms of the defense, James hit the nail on the head earlier when he talked about Dre Greenlaw. That guy had almost 100 tackles in his rookie season. He started the first game, and he started throughout the season. And you know what? I think I love Quan Alexander. He's got that spirit, and he's the guy. He's the one guy on the defense that really rallies everybody together.
I know you're going to say it. Cut to the chase. Get to the chase, Kevin. What are you getting ready to say? Who's more efficient?
I think potentially if he's not to where he was in the beginning of the season,
yes.
I think Greenlaw permanently takes his spot going forward after this season.
He said it. I got to tell you though, Kevin. I just want to amplify.
Biggest guy.
Kevin, I just want to amplify your one point there. I just want to amplify on that.
Yeah.
That tackle that Greenlaw made on the goal line to stop Hollister, that was the most textbook, cerebral, being able to make a decision immediately, hit him high, drive him away from that line. That's veteran stuff, Kevin. That's veteran stuff. You're right.
Well, I love me some Quan Alexander. I think he was a great pickup. And, it's unfortunate what happened to him. That injury, he came back and he played, and, all power to him. And he's an absolute stud for coming back with an injury like that and trying to play. But, I just honestly believe that Greenlaw is going to be a more consistent player going forward. And when Greenlaw's on the field, positive stuff happens. So, I think he could definitely take a big step. Jimmy Ward is one of the more seasoned guys on the team. I think he's going to be, he's going to become that leader. He may even be a captain this year on the defense. We'll see. He's signing that contract. So maybe the front office and Kyle and Robert Saleh can put that C on his jersey. For coming back and playing. So, we're stacked going into the season, and there's a lot of guys on the defense that are going to be coming back healthy. DJ Jones, Ronald Blair. And the last thing I want to say before I go, Ronbo, is there's one guy on this team who is causing us from being able to re-sign George Kittle. And that guy is Solomon Thomas. Okay. Ronbo, if you
got all kind of bullets tonight, huh?
If you gave Solomon Thomas 700 snaps, I bet you on this team I can name 5 other players on the interior defensive line that would have more production than him. And I can name them for you right now. It's going to be Kinlaw, DJ Jones, Kevin Givens. People are sleeping on Kevin Givens. That guy was playing very well.
You got me in your side on there. Sure. Who else?
Julian Taylor and I believe Sheldon Day would all have better production than Solomon Thomas. We need to get this guy out of here. Okay.
All right.
We need to get Kittle. And what scares me is that Kittle is not re-signed yet, and we don't have the cap space right now for it. So that's my only other concern going into the season.
But, the good thing about George is he loves being a 49er. If the 49ers assure him that everything's going to be, you're going to get your money, I don't think he's going to balk about it. So we'll be okay. We got until this time next year to get him done, or somewhere near this time. I think it'll get done. But anyway, interesting point. Kevin, we got to go. I'm going to see you Sunday, and make sure we do.
Thanks, Ronbo. Thank you for the platform.
Yeah. Thank you, Phil. Appreciate it. And it's my pleasure.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right. You guys got tonight. It's been blasphemous in here. Even Trey, who just joined in, cannot say that anybody. It's not been cute and cuddly tonight. We've been told that Buckner will not be a letdown, and in that fact that we could be an improvement from his position next year, which scared me actually to even say that. I could never even if I was thinking it, I would slap me because I'd be afraid. Oh, no, you can't think that way about Buck. He meant so much to us. And now Kevin comes in and says Dre Greenlaw is a better football player than Quan Alexander. I'm loving it. Why? Something else was said tonight, too. Solomon Thomas. We all agree on Solomon Thomas. Somebody come in and say Dante Pettis could be the best wide receiver on this team and needs to be placed at the number 1 position. Hey, Sal's the man. He'll do it. Sal.
Hell no! Don't be putting me in that situation, Ronbo.
Sal, it's getting gnarly up in here, man.
I know. You better duck. I got a 12-gauge shotty coming for all these players. SOBs, jacking money from me and my owner.
Well,
no, it's all good, Ronbo. What was the topic tonight?
Yeah, no, because people say things, it sort of sends shock. I forgot where I was. I like Quan, but you know what? We need to see him heal up and then give him a shot again. I ain't going to close the book on him. We're just talking about leadership. And Quan, if there's one thing Quan is a leader of men. That dude gets out there, gets everybody pumped up. He does.
Yeah, he
have problems staying on the field, but he's still a good football player. But what are you thinking? Who are the leaders on this team now that we've lost guys?
No, Ronbo. He definitely is a leader on the team. He's just a vocal leader and the type of energy he brings. He did rub off on, I think, Fred Warner, or maybe that's just like a natural step that players take in the second year.
Yeah, because
he's
Fred
a lot more vocal.
Yeah.
But that rubs off on guys, and you never know. He might have made a difference in Dre Greenlaw's progress. So that's why Dre Greenlaw was so good his whole rookie year, because he has a couple veteran guys to lean on.
True.
What's his name?
You got Quan in his ear all
Fred
the time.
Warner.
We don't know how much Quan was coaching him up. And Sal, you know what's so funny people think Nick Mullins is the greatest thing since Black Pepper? I think Jimmy was over there. Did you know Jimmy was in his ear on almost every play when he was out there in 2018?
Probably.
Yeah, I saw him on the sideline. Jimmy was coaching him up and saying things to him. You hear little things said. But still, people still want to put Mullins in front of Jimmy, and I don't understand how you arrive at that conclusion. But go ahead.
We got leaders all over this team, Ronbo. I don't think that's a question. You got the right character guys, and character. That's what we were hearing in 2017, right?
Yep.
We were hearing that in 2017, and you look at shit that's happening in the NFL on a daily basis. You got baby mamas, pistol whipping players. You got these wannabe. No, I'm serious. And you guys want him on the team when his baby mama's out here pistol whipping him.
I was arguing with people about that. I said, no, man, we good. Come on now.
No. Go back and watch the tape. Half this damn lobby, half this damn chat wanted Earl Thomas.
And then Twitter's the same way.
Like you got Quentin Dunbar. You got DeAndre Baker. Good players, but they're not good decision makers. And we bit the bullet with Reuben Foster. We bit the bullet with that, so we're not immune to it. But we learned our lesson, and we're gonna. But that's the type of players we don't need in here, and that's the type. Yeah, Ronbo, that shit's crazy because you lost some money and you try to go out there GTA, CJ some of your homies.
Right, you're in the NFL. Don't you appreciate your position in this world? What you did? How hard was it to make that? You do the stupid things. Oh God. I couldn't be an agent.
It's all good because we got to laugh at them. We don't have to deal with any of that. You know what I'm saying? Our guys, they're focused. Even if they're cooking and they're not in the gym right now, they're focused and they're not out causing trouble. They're staying. Availability is the best ability. But I want our guys to focus up because they can't be training up here in California. So hopefully we find some place where we could go and train properly.
Yeah. Sal, where do you think they're going to go? I got a feeling it's going to be
up north or down
Arizona?
south. Yeah.
I think it's going to be Arizona.
Well, I don't know. What are the rules in
Arizona's
is it
eased
Nevada?
up. Yeah.
Well,
Nevada has Nevada too, right?
Because we could go to Reno. Reno's up in northern Nevada, and that's kind of closer
that's not
to
too far away.
San Francisco. Yeah, like up there, like or even like Oregon. But I don't know what the orders are in Oregon right now.
Too cold.
But yeah.
Yeah.
That California
well,
tripping.
It
We
ain't
got to
that
open
bad
up
in Oregon right now.
Open up the park.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not talking about weather. Like I'm just talking about like rules.
States that have opened up. You know what though? Yeah. I figure for this player's sake, I'd like to keep my guys in the best weather I probably could. So if Arizona, and I think they've eased restrictions quite a bit. I think.
Yeah, we could go to Arizona and start the revenge tour off early.
And they got a lot of 49er fans in Arizona. So if they
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I put that in the chat earlier. Wherever we go, man, we got home
plenty
field
of fans.
advantage.
Yeah.
We got Niners everywhere, and it's going to take this year because it might be a possibility we're not going to play any home games this year. So it's going to be very important for every 49er fan in all 50 states to go to the closest home game and show your love and represent the team. Because if I can go to a home game, Ronbo, that's going to be so disappointing.
I know because Sal be at every game at least once calling in and filming himself walking somewhere on his way to somewhere, walking through the facility.
Yeah,
we're gonna miss that.
I'm 5-0 at Levi's, Ronbo. I was trying to keep it going.
They gotta have you. There's something about Sal being at the game. Gotta have him. So
I was trying to keep it going.
All right, Sal, good stuff, man. I mean, I'll see you Sunday. All right.
All right, Ronbo. I'll try to get back in here.
I hope
Take
so.
care.
Be looking for you. Thanks, fam. You too.
All right. Good night, Ronbo.
Night.
Stay up.
Hey, let's go out to Cleveland and get John V. John!
Ronbo, what's happening, my man?
John, man, we're after at this point in the conversation tonight, we don't really have a void. I think we got plenty of guys that can pick up the slack for Joe and Emmanuel and Deforest Buckner. But what's been funny, John, you've heard tonight, people have, one thing about us, we're an honest bunch of people, aren't we? Our guys are coming in saying things like, we're not going to, Deforest Buckner won't be missed. Greenlaw, we may even be better. And now you just heard Kevin just come and say, honestly, Dre Greenlaw, I mean, I like Quan and all, and he's a good this and that. But Greenlaw may be putting in a better product. I'm laughing as I'm taking this in. We don't hold back, do we? Who else? Joe Staley. People have said Trent Williams can do a better job than Joe. I honestly, they do things a little differently, but they're both efficient. So no matter what anybody says about Trent Williams, I will give Trent Williams. He's earned a lot of respect. 7 times in a Pro Bowl is very difficult to do. So I'm okay with people saying good things about him. I don't necessarily want to hear anything bad about Joe, but I like saying here about Trent. But what are your feelings on the leadership on this team?
I mean, as far as leadership, Ronbo, I think that Jimmy G is going to take a big step forward.
Yeah.
I believe that he has. I believe that he got that first full season out of his system. I believe that the way that Kyle, the Kyle's system is so complex, but is it really complex for a quarterback though? Because I mean, if you think about it, the hardest part is just learning the line calls, in the run game, and the majority of the time, he has to read 2 guys on a route that are either tight to the line of scrimmage or wide open. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I think that Jimmy has, do you ever wonder if when Kyle's shouting those reads to Jimmy in the helmet, do you ever think that he, when he hesitates to get rid of the ball and we're like, Jimmy, get rid of it, just throw it away. You ever just think that, like, he he has Kyle in his ear, but he's also trying to do his reads. You ever see like
the hesitation? Actually, I think there's a rule in the NFL. You've got to shut that mic off after a certain point on the clock.
It's a short. What, maybe 10 seconds or something? 15 seconds?
Yeah, Jimmy's. This Kyle talked about this a year before. He says, when Jimmy got hurt that year, they were hoping to go through all this stuff that we saw him go through last year in 2018. So that by the time 2019 came, some of those little things that you saw Jimmy hesitate, because they go back and they look at film, and Kyle will sit there and say, all right, what I like about you is you can do your own thinking at times, and I need that from my quarterback. Now, right here is George is standing right there. I see you scanning the field, and you're going through your progressions. Why didn't you just hit Kittle immediately, which would have saved you a lot of stress on that play? Coach is going to talk to you like that during the course of the play. And Jimmy's going to look at it. He's going to slap himself in the forehead. He says, Jesus, yeah. George told me about that when he came back to came back to the huddle.
Right.
So, yeah. These are mistakes that have to be made in order to be able to take the next step forward, which is why people weren't patient enough with Jimmy in his first year, like I say. So some of the mistakes he made, I doubt you see that next year.
Right.
So, yeah.
I believe for these reasons, I believe Jimmy takes a big step forward as the leader and the leader of the team that he should be. So, I mean, I know our guys rally behind him. They love him. So I have no doubt there. I do believe when Kevin said something about potentially giving Jimmy Ward that C on his jersey, a captain's opportunity. Mm-hmm. That wouldn't be a bad idea, Ronbo. I mean, I'm not too sure if missing Emmanuel Sanders. I mean, we all had a mentor at some point. We only had one mentor that made a big difference in our lives at some point or another, especially in your work field. You got one boss. I feel like Emmanuel Sanders was there. He laid the blueprint. The boys either follow or they don't. You know what I mean? I feel like they learned what they need to know. Debo learned enough to know, like, hey, I can get Ayuk up to speed, get Jennings. I can get these guys up to pace. I don't know, Rumble. I feel like the Niners are going to take a real big step forward as a whole team. I think they got that Super Bowl loss under their belt. They got that grit.
All that experience.
They got the experience. I mean, Greenlaw, my God, Ronbo, we said it. I've heard you say it in the show that if that man was just a few steps too late, I mean.
Or if he hits him in the wrong spot, what if he hit him low?
Sure. Squared up, Ronbo. I mean, I watched him move left, and then he stuck. I watched the replay. He ran to his. Would it be my left? He ran to his left.
Yeah.
He took a step to the left, and then he planted himself there, Rombo.
And launched himself like a missile. Yeah.
Oh my God! Amazing.
That's what freaks me out every time I look at it. I said, that's a rookie making those decisions in split second. You're not always able to think that quickly. He not only thought, he processed and he executed.
Rombo, he read that perfectly. Yes.
And the thing is,
boy has.
That dude is what's the guy? Hollister is not a small man. God, that was awesome. Should get an award for that,
man. Yes, I think Greenlaw, Fred Warner, these guys are up and coming, man. Fred Warner for sure, Rombo. He's going to be a huge staple in this franchise. If he stays a Niner, Fred Warner is going to be.
It's a Pro Bowler.
He could potentially be. He could be a Patrick Willis in a few more years. You know what I mean? He could be great.
John,
just great. So,
and John, you know how we're taking shots at people we have no business taking shots at? Now, you just mentioned Patrick Willis, right? I got to tell you this, though.
Yeah.
I won't repeat this because I don't want anybody to get mad at me. But listen, Fred Warner may have more tools than a lot of these guys we're talking about. His mentality, his cerebral look at the game, some of the things he does. Warner is freaking brilliant. And some of the things he does are shockingly smart. So, see, we're going to see. We're going to see. John.
Definitely, Rombo. Those are my guys. Those are definitely my guys for leadership, for sure.
Amazing. I tell you. We got to go, though, fam. I'll look for you Sunday, okay?
I'll be there, Ronbo. Always
Looking
a pleasure,
forward.
my man. Take care.
Thanks,
Thank
John.
you for everything. Good night.
You too. Thank you. It's my pleasure, fam. Night. Let's move to Joe. Listen, by the way, before anybody says, Ronbo, man, don't start talking about that, man. Ain't nobody better than Willis. I'm not saying better than Willis, but let me see in 2 years from now, I see him crawling on near that plateau. George!
Yo, Ronbo.
George.
Ronbo, I think one of the leaders that we're gonna have, Ronbo, and it's so important is I think Jimmy Garoppolo.
He's already.
I know
there,
I talked
though.
about him last time I called. Yeah, I know. Ronbo. So I was doing some research and they were saying that now that a lot of like NFL teams don't have time to study the Niners. The main thing that they're going to do is stop our run game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they were saying that the one way that the Niners should evolve, or the way that they think that we are going to evolve, is they're going to stop our run supposedly, and then it's going to lead to Jimmy having to throw a lot more. So this year Jimmy should be throwing a lot more. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're going to be worried about just stopping the run game. Most likely they will probably have a harder time with our running game because they have film on us.
Mm-hmm.
Which should, the 1 + 1 = 2 type thingy. It should allow Jimmy to kind of, take in that role of, okay, buddy, let's get you, up and going and firing and guns blazing and stuff like that. So I think, I was thinking that's going to be important for us this year. And with all our weapons, I don't think Jimmy's going to, take a step back.
Well, see, that's what I was getting ready.
Like
That's
that
what I was
idea.
getting ready to mention. I say, you know what? Not only that, Jimmy's got coming in now. Not only, a 6-shooter, he's only got 3 bullets.
Yeah.
Boy, Jimmy's gonna have 6 bullets and a clip. See, that's what he didn't have
Yeah,
last year, and a lot of people don't realize that. We ran a lot because we were only a 2-shot team. You either had Debo or Sanders, and Kendrick was on the field most of the time as well. But you only had 3 shots, and Kittle was blocking a lot of time for the run. You give Jimmy all the weapons he's got on offensive now, air attack, look out. The game will be a balance, George.
Exactly.
Promise you.
Yeah,
balance.
Exactly. Yeah. So I really want to see, Garoppolo just take that step forward and just really just be lasering teams up, and just every Sunday, like, it's just going to be a bad Sunday for teams. It's just because they just know that Garoppolo is just going to come here, and the next 3-4 years, it's going to be hell. You know what I mean? And you're going to get beat up by, Hurd. You're going to get beat up by Debo. You're going to get beat up by all our wide receivers. You know what I mean? We got physical. We're going to be beating up teams, Ronbo. That's what I want to do. I'm not even playing around. Like, I want to beat up all the teams.
It's happening. Yeah. You got more offensive weaponry now. Kyle will utilize it. And as I said, last year was the time to really install that offense. I think most of the guys get it. The 2 guys are going to be added. They'll pick it up, but you got solid now. And Trent Taylor, one of the reasons why he won't get cut is he's solid with it. Kyle, there's no way he cuts him. They got to have him for the beginning of the season. But go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, Ronbo, last year when I was watching the Niner games, man, I felt like Ronald Blair and DJ Jones popped out on a lot of plays. Where it was just shouldn't Armstead or shouldn't Buckner or Bosa be winning, and then boom, you just see these freight trains just come and a lot of people they bash Solomon or whatever, but I think that the fact that we have so much talent and you have such a good rotation, it just every play you're gonna get hit from left and right, and I really, really, really hope that DJ Jones and Ronald Blair, they come back and they're have incredible seasons like they were having last year, because they were, like I said, they were just making great plays, and even when I was when we were 7 games in, 8 games in, I was feeling really good. I'm like, damn, man, if our role players are playing this good, and just imagine when Buckner has a night, or imagine when Armstead has a night, or Bosa or something like that. So I just hope that this year, man, it's the same thing,
That's what
I know
happened
it's
against
gonna be
the
the same
Panthers.
thing, but exactly. We turned it up against the Panthers, And think about it. D4, what about if he has a night? He come back a lot healthier, and he just boom. But I just think DJ Jones and Ronald Blair were just could be really factors too, and obviously Garoppolo too.
Yeah. You're going to see a different thing. And as I said, Garoppolo's just coming off a knee injury, missed an entire season. I really think we got a really great production out of a guy that went through what he just went through, and having missed his which was really going to be his rookie year in Kyle Shanahan's offense, having missed that whole year coming off an injury, I really think he did really well considering everything.
Bravo. You know what's crazy is that he be having haters. Like, there's no one on ESPN that ever gives Garoppolo. No, I've never heard one analyst said that Garoppolo is like it's good or nothing like that. And it's just like, why don't they respect him? Why? If he took us to the Super Bowl, like, why don't they respect? When we didn't have him, we weren't good. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, I know they gave they give all the credit to the run game. I
hate that. Like, especially Stephen A. said, "Oh, you have the run game. Oh, you have the defense. Oh, you have a coach. You have all these things before you go to Garoppolo." It's like, dude, shut up. You don't think that Garoppolo is like so like important to us? Like, you got to be kidding me, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like that stuff, it gets under my skin, man. I can't stand that.
And you know why? Because once one or two or three guys say it, they all say it, except for a few that remain independent of the trend. But yeah, Jimmy G. It's like Garoppolo. I mean, George Kittle said, hey, it's not his fault he's on a good team. You know, so
yeah. Ask Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady if they would like to win off throwing 10 passes with a badass run game. Ask them if they would like that. They'll sign up for that with a badass defense.
Exactly. You will not hear anybody complain about that. George, we got to go.
Yeah, you know.
Let me see you Sunday, okay?
All right, Ronbo.
All right, fam. Have a good night, George. Always great to hear from you.
Yep.
Let's go see what Charles is talking about.
Ronbo.
Charles.
I just heard what you said about Patrick Willis and Fred Warner. And I just gotta say amen.
No, really. You know what we do, Charles? We tend to put some of our players on a pedestal of gods. Okay, and Willis is. I ain't taking him down, but I'm saying we shouldn't just decide that we've got no other players that can reach these plateaus. I think Warner is special in a lot of ways, and he's growing every year. And wow, his first year, 100 and how many sacks? He led the team. Last year, he seemed like the sharpest guy on the field. He even knows what he does wrong. He talked about taking angles he could take better. What if he improves from last year, Charles? Good Lord.
I was going to get to that and say, he's only in his second year.
Yes.
He's already way better than Patrick Willis in the passing game, and he's no scrub in the run game either.
Yeah.
So we expect him to take another he hasn't reached his prime. Once we see his prime, he's another good 2 years away from that.
Mm-hmm.
Once we see him in his prime, hell will be raised.
Mm-hmm.
And Ronbo, I got a question for you that's kind of worrying me since I last talked to you, and that is, we all expect Jimmy G to take another MVP caliber leap. I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's where all of us are at right now, something like that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, this coronavirus may stop him from going there. Because if he can't work with his players, if he can't step up his game because he can't even go outside,
I know.
That's going to be...
It's worrisome.
Yes, that's the only thing that I'm worrying about. And I'm wondering, what do you think about that? How are we going to avoid that type of drop-off?
And, I've been in denial about that because I keep thinking that another month or so, the summer, I'm hoping this is a seasonal misery, and suddenly they'll be able to get out. They'll ease restrictions a little, as you know, you don't hear about anybody getting this disgusting thing for about 3 or 4 weeks on. You won't hear about anybody catching anything, right? Because it's went into its recession or remission, right? And then all of a sudden things open up again. Well, we got to worry about what's going to happen in the fall when the weather turns cold and flu season comes back, and corona is expected to come back with it. But maybe not if we're lucky, right? So they get out there and they can get some work done. They only need about, a month or so to work together. There's no August off this year. You know how they take every year? They take, what month? July or August? They take July off, right? There's no July off this year.
When they start training camp, isn't it?
Training camp? Yeah, they take a month off before the season.
Early
It's
July?
August. They take the month off, the August off. No August off this year, guys. We got too much to get done. You've been resting the whole time and working out. You're fine. Let's go. We got to work. So no off season, no off month. You work in August, get up to speed, and segue right into the season. Preseason games. I don't know how they're going to do this.
Yeah, preseason. Our team needs preseason.
Yeah.
Especially for the rookies, because Kinlaw and Ayubi feel what it's like to be against the pros. They needed it.
But Charles,
so I'm not worried.
I don't want to see our guys go 3 successive months without a break. So if they start June, July, August, we didn't go to OTAs all the month of May, and we're not going to do anything all month of May, right? So June, July, August, it's just work. That's it. Dang. I hate to see
needed work. Needed vocabulary for our rookies. Needed vocabulary for Jimmy. Like we just said, Jimmy just finished his first full year, and I think if I remember correctly, Matt Ryan was kind of thankful he was finished with his first year, so he could learn the second half of the second part of the offense, which was what made him an MVP.
Right.
So if we need Jimmy to get this vocabulary down, the timing, the dropbacks, and then of course add a pump fake like I heard the other day, add a throw the ball away in those situations. He needs to. I think agree. He's the one that probably needs it the most.
Well, and then also you remember the offensive line. Now, some of the sacks and some of those total disaster snaps had a lot to do with the offensive line. I think.
No, I'm not.
This offensive line.
I'm not doubting.
No. What I'm saying is, you might not see him having to throw it away. If Jimmy zeroes in, he's pretty accurate. If he's got time to throw. If that happens, I don't think we have to worry about. He's gonna have to learn to throw the ball away, but he's got to learn to figure that out early. If the play is dead, you can see the routes are already done. Then abort the play. But he tries to do too much sometimes, and Kyle's got to talk to him about that.
Use your leg.
Yeah.
Get out the pocket. Use your leg. Let him be like he was in 2017. And Ronbo, I know we got to go. But before I head out, let me give you a name real quick.
All right.
Trayvon Austin.
I know people are talking about Trayvon. Where was he at last year? Was he in Dallas?
He was with the Cowboys. Let's take Dak Prescott's player.
I don't understand. They don't want Trayvon? Anyway, you're right. He would fit what we do. We'll see. All right.
Jet sweeps, 4-2. All right, Ronbo. Thanks for the platform as always. Have a good night.
Hey, you fam. Night, Charles. The only thing about Trayvon, this is about the 4th or 15th time. People talk about Trayvon everywhere, all over social media. The thing is, there's no point in bringing in, whose job would he take? Now you don't have any need for about 4 guys if he can beat them out. Hey, Jay, come on in, man.
What's up, Ronbo?
Jay, man, we're just scanning through the roster, man, looking for leadership. But you know what? I don't know. I think at this point we all know who the leaders already are. Jimmy G and Richard Sherman are probably the top of the chain as far as offense and defense. And then you got a bunch of disciples below them. But are there anybody that we haven't uncovered tonight that you haven't heard their name?
I think George Kittle is going to be a good leader. I think, how he plays on the field and how he holds his own, and I think he's going to be a good leader.
Yeah.
I think Fred Warner is going to be a good leader on the defense, too. You know what I'm saying? He's been there a while now. He's going on his 3rd year. He's been drafted by the Niners, so he's going to have a good input on it. I think I ain't really concerned about the leadership because, we got Richard Sherman. We got, the people that we all know is going to be the great leaders. I just hope we have a good year this year because the leadership is going to come.
And it's already there, The guys that were very vocal last year, the team could lose a couple leaders and still keep on chugging. It's an interesting thing. Joe Staley is somebody who represented something else. He was an iconic figure on the team. So I just don't know how that's going to affect the locker room. Joe's still going to hang around most likely, though, anyway. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's a huge one right there, because Joe been there.
It's a long time, 13 years.
Career. So that's going to be a huge blow. People can sit here and say Trent Williams is going to be is better than him, but we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because Washington is a different story, and he didn't play all last year. It's going to be good for his body, but it's going to be also, he's got to get back in game shape. So that takes a little time, you know what I'm saying?
Which we aren't getting right now, which is worrying everybody. These guys should be out there sweating already. So, this is not good.
And, you can't, it's a lot that comes in. He's older, he's 30-something, 31,
32.
I believe.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, exactly. So he missed a year, and it takes some time, you know what I'm saying? And just hopefully he can play out this year, and I hope he does well. I'm not saying he ain't, but I'm just saying it's a possibility he can't, you know what I'm saying? And you don't know how much of a leadership he is in that locker room. That's what I'm saying. You gotta count all factors of a player, you know what I'm saying? Because they can play on the field doesn't mean they're good outside
leaders.
the field.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So we need all stages of the game. You got to think like a champion. You got to, outside of football, you got to think like a champion. You know what I'm saying? You got to want it. You got to eat it. You got to breathe it.
See,
that's
now,
what we need.
now you're quoting from the book of Walsh. Champions know they're champions before they become champions.
Correct.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? We got Richard Sherman. He won the Super Bowl. So, we got people in there that actually, and now they done played in the Super Bowl. So
that's huge experience for a team. First time they get to the playoffs, they run the gamut, and they don't get enough love for that. They get all that hate. The 49ers choked the Super Bowl. Oh, man, why don't you just drop dead? The 49ers had no business being in the Super Bowl. That they got that far to scare everybody.
They was picking us to be 3-13, and it turns out they was wrong. We was 13-3. You know what I'm saying?
And Jay, and every game we lost, we were barely losing. We lost it. Team didn't beat us.
Correct.
We lost it. Should have been 16-0. Damn.
Yes. We should have been. You 15-1. You know what I'm saying? Really, the game that we didn't. Yeah, because literally we was up on all the games. Even on Baltimore, we jumped out on them 7-0. You know what I'm saying? So
the field goal we missed at Levi's against them dreaded stinky Hawks should have been sweet for the Hawks. George Kittle against the Falcons. He goes to switch the ball. The ball goes out of bounds. Lose the game.
We did not play our good game, and we still almost pulled out almost a win. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, almost ain't good enough, but at the same time, we should have pulled that win out. That kick was there. That interception was there. We were supposed to win that game. Just point blank, period.
Maturity.
That's why I'm saying.
It's like I say, Jay.
Yeah.
All they needed was maturity. They got it now. They've seen it all. They know what to do.
They got the experience and they got the taste in their mouth. They got the taste.
And the talent.
If we play our game, we can get back there. And that schedule, I see the schedule. I love the schedule. The only thing is just scared me about the schedule is us staying healthy.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's always
the
the
only
case.
thing exactly. Yeah, because you know what I'm saying? We can go, like I said, 15-1. You know what I'm saying? The least is 11 and 5. But they're saying we're going. Ryan Clark said we're going to be 10-6.
Yeah, I know, Ryan.
He said we're going to be 10-6.
I already told Ryan on
what?
Twitter. I said, Ryan, you setting yourself up again, ain't you? Okay, well, we'll get you too.
You
we gotta go
is.
check.
And He gonna eat them words again. He
He'll
gonna
be
eat them words
apologizing.
again.
Say I was wrong, 49er fans. I love when he does that. Jay, we got to roll. I'm going to see you
Yeah.
Sunday, huh?
Yes, sir. You have a good night, Ronbo. God bless
too,
you,
fam.
and stay safe out there.
You too, fam.
Thank you, brother.
All right, Jay. Oh, it just kills you how we actually could have won 16. That game against the Ravens, another bad judgment the last wrong minute. Hey, Hayden.
Hey, Ronbo.
And you're back. How you doing? I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, I know. Finally.
Yeah. Well, we've been waiting for you. Well, Hayden, did you check out the subject matter tonight? You know what we're talking about here?
Yeah, basically like the schedule and the majority, the
No,
Debo thing.
Well, actually, we're talking about who's the leaders on this team and to replace the guys we lost. But Hayden, actually, I don't know that, you look at the leadership we got on this team. We got so many leaders now. It's like some guys are having to be quiet maybe a little bit until some of those leaders left. I mean, Emmanuel Sanders was a great leader, but he was only here for a little while. And
Yeah, he
Debo's
was a
already
rental.
he's a rental leader. And then Debo's out there he's already telling people, I'll take care of you and get these guys up to speed. What? Really? All right. Go D. I mean,
Yeah, why not?
And then you look at Richard Sherman and Jimmy G are going to take care of the offensive defense if nobody else does. So, but do we leave anybody out? You look at George Kittle, of course, is going to be a leader. It's probably time for him to be a leader as well.
Yeah.
And defense, Dre Greenlaw, of course. I mean, not Dre Greenlaw, but I mean, Dre could be, but I don't think yet. But then you look at Quan Alexander, and Fred Warner is a born leader. You can already tell, right? So I don't know if we're probably okay.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I don't know about the Patrick. Wait, were you comparing him just like fully that he's better than Patrick Willis yet?
No. No, he hasn't got that to that level yet. Willis was incredible. You know what's so funny? They've got two different games. Willis was, once upon a time, Willis was really good in coverage too. Okay, Fred's got a ways to go. What we're saying, I think, is that let's not decide that Fred Warner will not enter that realm with the Willises, also the Bowens. We've had linebackers down through the years that really, Willis and Bowman were like the greatest act of all time as far as 49ers go, as far as linebackers probably, right?
Yeah.
But could Warner enter that realm is a thing, because he seems like it is possible. He improves
Warner and Quan together?
Yeah, Quan, I want to know if Quan's hit his peak. We'll see. He's not that old, so maybe not.
If you're comparing them to Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman, Fred Warner is like Patrick Willis, and then Navarro Bowman is like
Quan. Yeah.
Quan. Yeah.
Yeah, because once upon a time, people don't know it, but actually, Bo was good in coverage until he hurt his knee. So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, God, the fumble. Okay, that's...
Yeah, I know. Well, that's one of the reasons why we hate the Seahawks so bad. And they also killed our Ian Williams with that illegal chop block. Williams was never the same after that again. All right? So the Hawks, there's a lot of reason to hate the Hawks, other than those stupid blue and... Why would you mix blue and green in a uniform? That's an eyesore. I hate looking at that uniform. God, that's disgusting. Blue and green.
So who do you? So you just think Jimmy Garoppolo and Richard Sherman are just going to be the leaders, or anyone else? Or?
No. They'll be. Those are the guys you can depend on as far as leadership goes. But then you got Trent Williams. He's been around the league for a long time. He's accomplished a lot. We mentioned George Kittle earlier. I just mentioned Fred. And Quan's going to be a leader whether you want him to or not.
Yeah, he's basically like the didn't he start the Hot Boys thing?
Yeah. See, he's innovative. He knows how to motivate guys around him. I mean, him and Kendrick Bourne are up in the Washington area. They're working out, and letting everybody see their progress. These guys look grizzly. And Kendrick's out there running routes, putting it on film. My God, he's amazing. So
Yeah, I'm glad he's like training. Like I think like a lot. I think he's like posted that like almost every day.
oh yeah,
Like
he's showing off now. He loves it, and as spectators, we love watching it. You know, it gets you excited. But we got to stop picking on players because
it
they're not
gets you
posting
excited
videos.
'cause it seems like he's gonna be better.
Oh yeah, he intends on it. He's already said so. And also, we got to stop picking on players that aren't posting videos. Somebody pointed that out. You know, you guys.
Oh yeah, I watched
picking
John
on.
Lynch like
Oh, go ahead.
interview. He said like one of the guys they think highly of is Dante Pettis. That was a hard one to follow.
They'll never say anything bad. Well, they won't say anything really bad. They'll say things to let you know, though. Kyle made it clear that Tante's got to bring a little more this year than he has been. He's got to show drive and will to play. So
Yeah.
he knows. Hey, Hayden, I'm gonna go. Listen, I'll look forward to hearing from you Sunday if you get a chance, huh?
Yeah, I will.
All right. Good night, little buddy. Have a
Bye,
good night.
Ronbo.
Night.
Night, Ronbo.
All right. And yeah, I tell you, right. Let me see. Coach Tibble says, "Hey, you know, it is unfair the criticism Jimmy G takes from the media. They act like here, boy. This is such a coach. Good observation. They act as if other quarterbacks don't make mistakes. Jimmy G's the only guy that makes mistakes that we need to talk about. We need to condemn him. We need to say he's, as Stephen A. Smith says, how many layers you have to go through before Jimmy G even matters on that team. I want to take and throw some. You know what? If it wasn't my monitor, I'd hit him right in the face with this Jimmy G cup. Listen, I don't want to propose violence. I'm just saying he's a very irritating individual. He says Tom Brady lost three Super Bowls and threw tons of INTs for crying out loud. But Tom gets the GOAT, whether we say Joe Montana's the GOAT or not. John! Thanks, John. Appreciate it, fam. Have a great night, too, John. Mark Hefferman says, greetings. Hey, Mark from the UK. What's up, Mark? I always like to greet you guys in my videos. I know you're out there. And Prime Nation says, Fred is quicker, taller, and he's only going to get stronger. I agree. He will be better than P. Willie. Ew. I can't get my mouth to wrap around that and say that he's going to be better than Willis, because we've been saying Willis is great for so long. John, I love the bear. Thanks, John. You know, there are certain things as a 49er fan, I need to be able to say, like a lot of people could say, Warner may be better than Willis. Even to read that is like, wow. Because Willis is like, and you know, everybody else is like, wow, okay. I'll accept that, though. We don't know. Fred's just beginning his career. He's in the second year, for God's sakes. What is he going to look like in another year or two? Who knows? You know, we look at, what's his name over in, they just retired from the Panthers? The one that Bowman used to get mad about because, what is his name? The linebacker. Anyway, he was especially special. Nobody but anybody says. I know Bo didn't like it, but he was good. He was really good. Hey, Richard Hart's birthday. Am I leaving it with a birthday song tonight? Oh, my gosh. Happy, happy birthday, Richard. Happy birthday, Richard. I didn't jump into heavy metal. Can I just still do heavy metal this hour? Richard! I should probably get to the point on this, shouldn't I? Happy Niner! Birthday to Richard. Luke Kuechly. You know what? The game lost a bad dude. Him and Bowman were stride for stride for a while, but I would have never admitted it back during the time because Bo's a 49er, right? But Kuechly was dealing. Bo was too, though. They were like close. And the margin between them, and I'm still leaning toward our guy, was real thin, though. So, yeah. Thanks, Urban. Anyway, hey, fam, I'm going to go, and I'll see you Sunday. Looking forward to it. And what I want to talk about, I want to make some comparisons Sunday. Be prepared. I'm looking at a lot of things between, and here again, a blasphemous stuff again. I'm looking at comparisons, collegiate comparisons between Javon Kinlaw and Deforest Buckner. You'd be surprised as to what is being said. See you Sunday. Hit that like, fam. Don't forget that like. Niner!